Pro me.
Boom!
Aaron Rodgers, weirdest time of football.
Hot start.
Yep. We can cut that out and restart.
Speaking of looking better than ever, that hack goes home.
Kelly.
We're the ones. You're the twos. All right, Yinzer Nation, wake the fuck up. We're back, episode 39 on the channel. Shout out Minka.
Say
Maybe.
Say
rough,
it.
rough,
You know you want to say
rough
it.
day today.
No, not yet. Not
Say
saying it
it.
yet. Not saying it yet.
Damn.
I'm not saying it yet. Special podcast today. We have a guest.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
I don't see him anywhere though.
I don't see anyone.
Welcome, CJ. CJ, how you feeling, bud?
What's going on, fellas? No, I'm feeling good. I'm really happy that you guys invited me to do this, and I'm ready to have some fun.
Always fun around here.
Is
Hell
it?
yeah.
For
We're
some
used
of
to
us.
losing
I
over
hope
here,
so.
It's not much fun.
For some of us. For those of us that win,
Yeah, we're still the ones.
yeah, you guys are the twos.
You're actually getting put through a table the first time we beat you guys. I just hope you know
A
that.
classic 3D through the table.
Dylan's leading it.
Right.
Who's Devon? You're Devon.
So CJ is one of my
'Cause
friends
he's
from
wearing glasses.
college. We met at the good old Slimy Pebble, Slippery Rock University.
Wet pebble, not slimy.
Wet Pebble.
He
Wet
said
Pebble. It
slimy
actually-
pebble.
It was wet up there a lot. It
Hey,
rained
shout
a
out-
lot.
It
Shout
was.
out Luke
It was-
Jordan.
It was bad.
Moist
shout out Luke
boulder.
Jordan. He also
Moist
played-
boulder, that's
he
a good
plays
one.
hockey.
Fuck yeah.
So before we get into you, CJ, we'll cover our hot takes from last episode here.
They were
we
real
went,
strong.
yeah, we went pretty good. Tig said that Fields is going to have 3 touchdowns rushing or passing against the Chargers.
It's close.
It was close, but it wasn't 3.
Just a week off.
Just 1 week off. He had 3 today.
He had 3 today.
Can't win them all, Tigs.
Sorry.
Corey said the Steelers' defense was going to score against Chargers. Also, did not happen.
They
No.
even get a turnover?
No.
No, I don't think so. I said that Pitt was going to be ranked at some point. We might cover that a little later. They
Also
weren't ranked.
close.
They weren't ranked, but it was close, but still wrong. The James said that McGrody was going to have 5 points in his 3 preseason games.
Yeah.
I think he had maybe 1.
He had one assist in the
One
first
assist,
game.
yeah.
One
Not
assist.
close.
And then Dill said that Eli Holstein will continue his 3 passing touchdown streak against Youngstown State and UNC.
That was also close, but you were just
Close.
But
Lost
yeah,
technicality,
but they
just,
haven't played UNC.
You know
yet.
what? I just looked at the schedule wrong, and that's everyone else's fault but mine.
That's
That was,
all
a-
you
we played
yeah, that was a pretty
technicalities here.
sweet call there, bud.
So we'll review our hot take all-time record here. Dill still in first with myself at 10-27.
Hell yeah.
Tiggs 6-30. You're getting there.
The dirty 30.
The
Welcome to
James
club.
still Hall of Fame numbers. 5 for 9, or 5 and 9, I guess. That's
5 4 9.
5 for 9.
5 for 9.
5
pretty
for
good.
14. And Corey still bringing up the rear here at stellar 3-34.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
We're doing
I'm
real
proud of you,
good.
Corey. You got the 3.
Hey, we always got to look at it as I'm 2 away from the James, okay? Don't worry about the loss record or the raw stat, I
The
should
34.
It's not
Look
about
at the
wins.
3
It's
and
not
look
about
at
the
the 5.
losses. It's only about the wins.
He's had a
here.
giant head start.
I only need 2, okay?
All right.
Winning percentage does not matter. anymore.
Right.
So CJ, we'll give the floor to you. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, and then I think, like I said, some of us might have a question or 2 for you. Floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah. First of all, love the hot takes.
They're real
think
hot.
it's- I love listening to everything that went wrong and almost went right.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. No, this is great. But yeah. Anyway, so I did meet Zach at Slippery Rock, and I'm more of a hockey background. Been playing hockey since I was a kid. Played at Slippery Rock. Got me in the strength and conditioning, where I've had the pleasure through my career to work with a lot of D1 athletes, high school athletes, pro athletes. During my time with Allegheny Health Network, I was fortunate enough to work with some of the Pirates, especially Dave Bednar. Working with him for the past couple years. It's been an absolute honor, and he is one of the coolest dudes. Like, he would love doing something like this because
Get him on.
he loves just hanging with the boys, honestly. So it's amazing how much like professional guys are teenagers at heart. Like, they just want to BS and have fun with the boys. And although they seem super professional on TV and all their commercials and shit, I mean, it's really something nice to see away from all the cameras and everything like that. And it's a really pleasure to train guys of that caliber like Dave. So that's what I do for a living. Recently moved into a operations manager job at a gym in Shadyside, but I still train a lot of athletes there. So I've kind of been in that realm, been around sports. I realized that, I'm not tall enough or big enough to play past college for hockey. So I had to stay in sports somehow, and that was the weight room. So that's what I pretty much do that now. And it's nice not having to run every single week. And I can actually sit down and watch football and watch some baseball and go to some Pirate games this year. I had the pleasure of doing that and seeing Dave pitch a couple of times. So, that's a lot of my background. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. That's what we like to hear around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are short. None
Short
of us
and
are really
sweet.
that tall except for you.
No.
I would say speak for yourself.
Yeah, but at least you're
Yeah.
like ugly.
Yeah, I mean, we all are.
Oh
so
my
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, Corey, you might be tall, but at least you're ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dill
Fit
came
the
off.
rest of
Dill
the
came
category.
off the top rope on that.
Dill's been after me for a couple weeks here, and a couple episodes, I should
I
say.
think Dill's getting a 3D.
Yeah, I'll
Damn.
be the lead of it. I'll fucking
So like I said, we got a couple questions. I think maybe one or two of us have some. So I think the James has a question here for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So hi, I'm the Zach that you don't know.
How many Zachs are there?
Three.
Technically 3,
5.
Yeah.
Lord.
At this point, 5.
but
Good
Dylan
Lord.
and Corey also go by Zach sometimes. too.
Dang, fellas. All right. Sorry. All right. What do you
My
got?
so my question is, so I've been playing hockey for most of my life as well. I played baseball when I was a kid. I was a pitcher. I'm on the smaller end of the spectrum in terms of height and weight.
Small guy all around.
Yeah, but
That's
so
hey,
I
short
actually,
kings, man. Short kings.
yeah, that's what my girlfriend calls me. That's all that matters.
Hey, that's all that matters.
She has no room.
So,
Yeah. She's as short as Queen.
but so I coach high school hockey for Central. But my question is, what strategies or techniques do you use to help athletes recover quickly and safely from injury while maintaining their peak performances?
Yeah. Well, injuries, like how severe are we talking? Are we talking like, missing multiple weeks, or maybe just like a pulled hamstring or something?
I would just say like run in the mill stuff. I feel like most people.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that the process to recover from a major injury is significantly different. So I don't think we
Yeah,
need to go into that one.
Yeah, no, just like bumps and bruises along the way.
yeah.
I'll be honest with you guys. I'm real old school. I can't stand all of the fads and pointless research that has come out in the past few years about recovery stuff. I'm sure most of you have seen, like cold plunging and all kinds of these different modalities that people are willing to pay stupid amounts of money for. But I can't tell you how many teenagers I've looked at and how many parents of teenagers that I've looked at and just told them, get 8 hours of sleep and go eat a steak and go to bed, and stay hydrated. As simple as you can keep things as a kid, that's what's going to work best. And kids don't need cryotherapy, kids don't need red light therapy, they don't need all of this stuff. They need to go to bed. And I think when it comes to dealing with injuries, especially during the season, because that's even like more tough, especially with you asking about being able to maintain any sort of performance, you have to double down on it.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many like travel baseball parents I've talked to where their kids are playing baseball in the wintertime 6 to 7 days a week at these these inside fields and indoor facilities, and they don't give their body time to rest. So I think adequate rest, a ton of sleep, and I'm not saying like, go to bed at 1 a.m. because you're scrolling on TikTok and then waking up for school in the morning at 6 to catch the bus,
Right.
and then not eating lunch, and then for lunch you have like a bag of chips and a PB&J. Like, we all love lunchtime with the boys so we can just shoot the shit, but it's a lot of hey, you need to go to bed, go eat a really hearty dinner, get some steak in you, get some chicken in you, and drink a lot of water, and then get some salt water as well. I know it doesn't taste the best, but there's a lot of research behind lack of electrolytes, especially during injuries.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of kids nowadays just don't get enough. I mean, I didn't get enough. I'm not going to sit here and preach like, oh, we were the perfect athletes when we were in high school. But, there's so much research out there about just getting basic electrolytes and just like reaching basic nutritional needs that go a long way as a high school kid, especially for sports. So long story short, to answer your question, to be able to maintain any sort of performance while dealing with injuries along the way or bumps and bruises, it's got to be sleep and nutrition. It's no modern modalities or BS kind of tools that people use nowadays. That was a super long answer.
I think it's
I love it though.
I think it's a good. I coach inline.
Yeah.
But like my brother was in school for athletic training, and then he switched to health sciences. Now he's a dietitian for like Allegheny County. But him and I talk about all the time, like when we were kids, we would go like for seeding for inline in high school. We used to play 4 games across. Well, we played 8 games across a weekend, and it would be like back to back to back to games, and like you would see injuries all the time there. And like now I have kids that they'll like trip into the corner, and then they'll come to practice the next day, and they're like, I have a broken wrist, I have to go and do like cold therapy. I'm like, I never did that shit when I was your age. Like,
yeah, man, it's ridiculous. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I seriously think I've worked with, oh my god, thousands of high school kids over being in this field for like 10 years now. Like each group of like graduating classes, and I'm not just saying this because we're older now, but like they're genuinely soft. Like,
yeah,
I agree.
It's bad. Like we used to, and I used to play inline as well, but also for ice, you go to these tournaments and you do well and you end up playing 3 games in one day, or like you said, 8 games in a weekend. And hey man, you got to tape it up and then take care of it after the tournament. And it's like, I think a lot of medical professionals nowadays like to just kind of throw these things at kids it's kind of like fear mongering.
yeah,
Like,
that's exactly what it is.
Like you're making the kid believe that he's too weak to recover using basic strategies like rest, nutrition, movement, things like that. And then they walk around school with braces on and shit. And it's like,
Get out of
come
class
on, man.
early.
I think it's just
Yeah,
for
man.
show.
Like it's
Like part of it is, to me, it just appears like it's just for show. Like I was talking to some parents today before our game this morning, and I was telling them how in practice, like when I was in high school, we used to practice at a rink out in what was Harmerville, or called Harmerville.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like, that's a full-size ice rink, and they used to, my coach at the time, if he didn't like the way we were practicing, it would be 10 laps, 10 suicides. If he didn't like the way it looked, you were redoing them. I make the players I coach do 2 laps around the Bridgeville rink, which is about half the size of Harmerville, and then they come over and they're like, my feet hurt. I said, from what? What do your feet hurt from?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like they've been so conditioned. I mean, and don't get me wrong, you can't speak for parents, but dealing with a lot of parents over the years, like these kids have been conditioned to look for something that's wrong instead of dealing with it right there. And they're being taught to believe that something is always wrong with them.
Right.
Instead of just understanding that, hey, this is part of the journey. Like, this is part of work ethic. This is part of what your coach is trying to do. And we were the same way, man. For ice hockey, if we were screwing up a drill, we ran it until we got it right. And if we used 45 minutes of our, hour-long ice time, that's what we did until we did it right. And I just think, high school kids nowadays are conditioned to believe that there's either always something wrong or nothing makes sense unless they do it one specific way.
Right.
Like there's no learning curve. So I think as a coach for you, I think the best thing you could do is just kind of stick to your guns. And
I don't have a problem with that. Zach can tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think it's great because I've been being a strength coach. You get to watch the sport coaches. You don't really have to like converse with them,
Yeah.
which is nice because that whole political side of like parents and bullshit is completely out of question. And you watch these coaches, and if you get enough, like some coaches, they'll break. Like if the kids get to them enough, they'll break, and they'll just do whatever the kids want. And then after that, they lose complete control over the team, and then good luck getting your team back because now the kids run it, not you.
Zach. So Zach's been coming to my practices for a better part of I would say a year now.
I'm the Make-A-Wish goalie.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah,
what
there
it
you
is.
go. Everybody needs one of those.
The way that I've been the head coach for 4 years. I've been coaching for 7. My philosophy is always I run the team how the real world operates, where it's accountability and responsibility, and I hold them to that standard for the entirety of the season. If I don't like the way it's going, there's consequences. If I don't like the way that you're acting, there's consequences. Just like when you go into a professional career, there's consequences for the same things. I think I had a discussion today with one of the refs, and he was telling me that there's just not a lot of coaches around that coach the way that I coach, and I was like, well, that's kind of cool to hear, but at the same time, it's just very sad. I think it's just very sad, and I think that echoes with some of the similarities that you were just talking about.
Oh, it's super sad, and that's you almost have to you don't want to accept the compliment because you're like this is common sense. This is how coaching works.
Right.
And people don't want to accept it. I mean, and I do that with my athletes. I used to do it when I was in charge of the strength and conditioning for Fox Chapel and Butler for their hockey teams.
Mm-hmm.
I would give the kids a folder at the beginning of every off season with their workouts in it, with the calendars in it to take home to put on their fridge. I put in all the extra time up front to make sure I covered my ass as the coach. That way, if a kid was like, oh, well, I didn't know we had lifting at this time. Well, did you check your calendar? Did you check with your parents? Do you still have a copy of the calendar? It was in your folder. Things like that as a coach and a teacher. That way it gives you a little bit of insurance. All right, if I cover myself as the coach, there's no way any parent or kid could ever come back at me and tell me that I'm not doing my job. So it's a lot of work up front before a season starts or an off season starts for you as a coach. But if you kind of find ways to do that way parents can be like, well, you never told us practice was at this time. We didn't know the ice was free, blah, blah, blah. Provide all that information right up front. That way you can be like, yeah, you guys need to be as accountable as the kids. It needs to be like a parent-kid kind of, tag team. It can't just be, just drop your kid off and then pick them up in an hour. Everyone has to kind of pitch in. So that's what I did with Butler and Fox Chapel. And I didn't have a lot of success with it at Fox Chapel because you get these country club kids. And I don't know if any of you guys went to Fox Chapel. If any of you guys went to Fox Chapel,
No.
I'm sorry. But,
I went to Central, though, so.
No, I mean, Fox
Yeah.
Chapel's a different animal, man. Going from Butler to Fox Chapel, holy hell.
Oh yeah, you're going from the country to the country club.
Yeah, dude, I was using dumbbells at Butler that my dad used in the 70s to a high-tech weight room with iPads on the squat racks, and then I would get, coming full circle to this conversation and your question, I would get kids that were on the rowing. They called them country club sports, and they had their own division. That was pretty crazy. But
Wow.
these rowing kids and these golf kids would come into the weight room and they'd be like, hey coach, my back's a little sore. I played 9 yesterday with the buddies and I don't feel that great to lift today. And I would just look at them and be like, you just almost don't know what to say. 'Cause
Right.
when all of us were young, we'd go play golf, then we would go have practice, then we would go to our buddies and play pickup football until the street lights came on.
Exactly.
And we'd be all banged up, and then we would get up and do it all over again in the summer. And I would get on these kids, and some of them actually left. They walked out of the weight room, and they called their parents, and then, their parents would come and pick them up. I'm like, all right, see ya, bye, get out of
Thanks
here.
for coming.
I don't give a shit. And then I would get parents, I got some nasty emails from Fox Chapel parents that wanted to get me fired because they said I was harassing their kids, but it's whatever. I don't know. They're coming to pick their kids up in G-Wagons, and it's like, yeah,
Right.
just get out, bro.
I think
Go
Dylan
have
has
fun
a
at the
question.
pool.
I think Dylan has a question here for you.
We're
Get in
gonna keep
there.
this
Yeah.
one,
Yeah,
sweet.
sorry.
My name is not Zach, by the way. Clear that up. As much as we love ice hockey and practice and everything, what was your least favorite part growing up playing hockey?
Oh, definitely the injuries. Oh my God, that was playing through injuries and late night games. A lot of people hate really early morning games. But dude, when that fog was on the ice at like 7 a.m. and everybody was cold, I was one of those psychos, dude, that was drinking coffee in high school. And I'd be in the locker room, and like how everyone's half asleep and all that shit. It's like 6:30 a.m. No one wants to be there. The team mom brings a box of donuts and puts them in the locker room. I wouldn't touch any of that. I would be all for it. But when I was playing at Slippery Rock, and we would have games at like 10:20 at night, because our home rink was the UPMC rink that the Penguins practice at, and we would have games at 10:20, and I'd be getting back to the Ivy at our apartment at like 1:30 in the morning, almost 2, and I'm just like, yo, this isn't it.
No.
this isn't it. And like Kent State would come and just beat us up, and once I started getting a little older through college, and you play a few games in a weekend, even though it's D1 club and it's not like true NCAA D1 or anything. Some of these kids, man, if you get hit, you feel it. And I started feeling it way more my senior year of college, and it started sucking like real bad. And I wasn't recovering. I was taking Epsom salt baths. Like I would drive home and I would sit there for like an hour. And I'm like, I never had to do this when I was in high school. And it really sucked because I was only, 22 or whatever
Yeah.
when we graduate. So those were two of the things that I probably disliked the most was, getting those nagging injuries the further you go playing college sports, that just don't really seem to go away as fast, and super late games. Unless we were playing IUP, those were fun.
Right. I'd play at any time of the night if we played IUP.
Yeah. The fighting was fun. That's what I really enjoyed about it. Hitting and fighting.
You can't complain about the bumps and bruises when you're playing IUP.
No, not at all. In those games, they kind of hurt less,
Right, exactly.
Especially if you win, it's a conference game. But those two things are probably the worst.
Last question here for you. I know that your first book is published, and I think your second one comes out maybe first week of October. Correct me if I'm wrong. What made you have interest in like writing and publishing a book?
Yeah. So the second one is kind of on delay right now. It doesn't really have. I was hoping to release it by Halloween, but we're having some troubles with like the cover and all that crap. So you know what I mean? It's like formality stuff with
Right.
Amazon. But anyway, honestly, I started journaling for anxiety and all that stuff. Actually, when we were in college, it was my senior year, and I would sit back in my room at my apartment while all the guys were out, like, partying, or if we had people over, or if everybody was just chilling playing Fortnite in their own rooms. I'd sit there and write, and it really, really helped with anxiety. Because as a dude, when you're in college, it's super hard to go like talk to someone, because you're like, oh, well, I don't want to be a bitch and like go to therapy. So I looked up ways how to deal with anxiety and everything by myself. And I tell you what, guys, like writing and journaling, even if it's about nothing, like if it's just empty words, getting stuff out of your head, it really, really, really helped. And I eventually, by the end of my senior year at Slippery Rock, I had like 2 one-subject notebooks just filled up with journaling and me just asking myself questions in my alone time of why I am the way I am and what got me to act and do things the way I do. And I started just answering my own questions just by bringing up old scenarios or ways I was coached in sports, or maybe something happened during sports or during lifting that completely changed my perspective on certain subject matters or whatever. The possibilities were endless. And what started happening was, once I graduated, and then when I moved to South Carolina and everything, and working with athletes and clients down there, people would say, "Oh, well, you have so much knowledge at a young age, at 23 and 24. You have such a good perspective on this and that." And you start getting parents that really thank you for helping their kids develop during an off season, or the kids. That's the biggest one, is when the kids come and seek you for advice instead of their parents. And I had kids that did that when I was coaching at Butler, and if you really pay attention and you really open your eyes to those little conversations that you may not know that you're having with these people, you know, they may be asking you just a basic question about how they should ask a girl out at school, but in reality, they're like asking you for critical life advice.
Right.
And, you know, approaching those small conversations seriously and with an open mind, I think that's what helped me turn that journaling for my anxiety and perspectives and all that stuff into a book. And I'm like, well, shit, you know, I was only 24 or 25 at the time, sitting in South Carolina, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm just going to do it, because there's not really any books out there that cater to real life things that happen to us before like 25 and younger. It's all like all these motivational books at Barnes and Noble, they're so geared towards adults that either have jobs or lost their career jobs or have families, you know, this and that, but nothing's geared towards young adults. And that's what my 2 books are geared towards. And I only speak on real shit, only because, I don't know, I'm not a fan of people giving advice and motivation if they haven't lived it or experienced it themselves. I just don't roll like that. So everything I write is 100% true. And I'll die on that sword, because I'm sure, like you guys, you scroll through social media and you see the same motivational videos and influencing and all this crap. And it's like, you know, have you ever actually experienced it? You kind of think about that when you see this stuff on social media. So I think books have a lot more leverage than short-term social media influencing or anything like that, because the books are going to be around way after I die. And hopefully there's some kid out there that I'm never going to meet, or some person I'm never going to meet, that reads it and sees benefit from it, or maybe they just really, really hate it and use it as fire starters.
Hey, when that second book officially drops, text me that link and I'll tweet it out on our socials for you too.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I'm keeping everything very, very private for right now, because that's just, I don't know, that's kind of how I do it. And then I just kind of let it drop. And, you know, people can go from there if they want to read it or not. But I don't know if you looked on Amazon at all, Zach, but I do have one bad review, and I really think I pissed a girl off at some point. Because if you go on if you type in the first book title on Amazon and you go to the reviews, there's a review from someone called Solo Dolo. And it said
he's like, I kept the receipt.
Yeah, dude, no, seriously, it's a 1-star review, and it says, this is the worst book I've ever seen. I used it to start a fire. Or something like that. No, seriously, if you guys go on your phones right now and look at it, you can.
Dylan found it.
The book is called The First 25, and then you can just type in my name. But if you go to reviews, it's still on there.
Solo Dolo, yep.
The
title is, "This book is horrible," and the description is, "I used this book to start a bonfire." That was last year around this time. So
man. Yeah. And I was sitting. Yeah, dude, I got a notification in my email about it, and I sat there. I was sitting in my apartment, just like alone here, watching football, and I started dying. I was laughing. I'm like, I definitely like pissed a girl off, because none of my buddies, I don't think, you know, there's a time and a place to poke fun, but I don't think they would go out of their way to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably some chick, but whatever. But yeah, that's why I wrote them. I think there's a soft spot for young adults between like 18 and, you know, even 30, I would say, that just don't know how to relate or talk about certain things. So I thought, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to bear all in my books and tell it how it is. And, you know, it's there.
Love
it's
that.
all out there.
So yeah, I don't think there'd be a better topic to start off on than hockey. So why don't we get it kicked off tonight?
Who talks about hockey here?
That's you.
Oh,
Can I sit down first, guys?
No.
Holy shit. You're not even giving me
I know, Dylan's not even down there. I think this would be a perfect time to...
Okay, now we're good.
Well, Dill had to dap Steve up, so...
He's doing his job
Yes.
for once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, so I got some news around the league. We're going to start in Toronto.
Boo.
Basically, they're having a dispute with Robertson right now. He requested a trade in June. They pretty much told him to get wrecked He's now facing some stiff competition with Max Pacioretty, who is on his PTO. He's actually performing like really well on his PTO.
Paid time off. He's on paid time.
He's
off
on
right
big time paid time off.
Nice.
He's going to Alaska on a fishing trip like Corey.
Till he gets hurt.
now. Yeah.
So Robertson's probably going to get traded here. I don't know what team would be in the market for him, but he's like a pretty affordable forward. He's like I would say he's a bottom 6 guy right now. I don't know if he'll ever turn into a top 6 guy, but be on the lookout for him getting moved. I think that's probably coming before. They said they'd like to get it done before the season starts. I don't know if they're going to get that done. Speaking of before the season starts.
Wait, hold on. I got one thing.
Go ahead.
Keeping it with Toronto in the north. I know
Oh, yeah.
Johnny T got hurt.
Yeah, he did.
He got hurt, so we'll see how that plays out in the coming weeks here with the season starting next Friday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday, season
yeah.
officially starts. And Mitch Marner, big contract here.
It is. He collided with Nylander. I was like, did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that.
I was just like, what are you doing? They just like ran right. It looked like a beer league just poof right
That
into each other.
And the dude, whoever that was, that like literally
That was
shoved his
Robertson who pushed
stick
him.
into Nylander, and he like
Nylander.
collided with the dude's knee
Yes.
in his head.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Toronto is one of those teams where it's like they're like one of the I'd say the NHL teams where every year people are like, this is our year. Like
Sounds like Pirate
Browns.
fan.
yeah. I was gonna say
Sounds like
Pirates
they're
fan,
the
but like I don't
Browns
want
of
to.
the NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, this is our year, and then they have a real good season, and then they get to the playoffs and they're out in the first round.
And they
They're-
face Boston.
Yeah, they're eating Tim Hortons on a golf course. Like, so big contract year. I'd like to see how he performs. There's no way they're going to be able to keep their core with the amount of money that they're making right now. That's it's asinine the amount of money they have tied up.
Welcome to Pittsburgh, buddy.
I don't know about that either, but moving to Boston, the Jeremy Swayman. He basically came out and said, I'm not playing without a new contract. He has until December 1 to sign it, or he ends up missing the whole season. They would like to get that done pretty soon, but they're, at least from what I saw, they're pretty far apart on contract.
Yeah, so would I, considering that I drafted him.
You kept him.
Or I
Yeah, you
kept
kept him.
I know that Swayman wants 8 years. I know that Boston's willing to give 8 years. I think it's just a matter of what his annual salary is going to be, which is what's holding us up. But Boston did say they want this done before the season opener.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what
they
everyone
traded
says.
Allmark. What's their option?
Yeah.
That's just true.
They literally
Tim Thomas.
they said, "All right, Swayman, we're in on you," and he said, "All right, I
Wow.
want money." Like
because he knows his position.
well, yeah, now he did. They
He
literally
has all the
moved.
leverage in the world.
Yeah, they moved Allmark to Ottawa, which hopefully that solves the Ottawa goalie issue. I'm not quite sure it
Probably
will,
not.
but for Swayman, like he's pretty young. He's gonna get a longer deal. He's gonna be Boston's goalie. It's just a matter of the numbers. So, moving on to Drew Doughty, he sustained a ankle injury. Quick X-ray showed a fracture. He is now out month to month.
Yeah,
That blows.
You guys think the Kings can survive without Doughty?
Yeah, he's been injury prone the last few years.
He's also had down few years. Like he hasn't been the Drew Doughty of normal. So
No.
I think what's
but-
what's their defense of Matt Roy?
Yeah,
I think it's a big year for him to step up,
we'll see.
especially with Doughty obviously being out the more the month to month than the expected maybe week to week.
I think the Kings are entering kind of similar territory to that of the Penguins, where the guys that we grew up with, like Kopitar's getting older, Doughty's getting older. They moved on from Quick. There's not a lot of dudes that are still out there that like we grew like it's a new era in LA, and hopefully good.
So we're looking at the current roster. I put it up on Daily Faceoff, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be the preseason roster.
Yeah, it is.
Because I don't see Matt Roy and I don't know any of these names. But
Yeah,
Joel
if
Edmonds.
you look on an app called Left Wing Lock, which you have
Okay.
to pay 99 cents a month
Yeah,
for,
that's-
which
A
I highly
month or
recommend
for a
getting.
year?
I'm pretty sure it's either 99 cents a month or $3.99 for the year. It's one of the two. But I highly recommend getting it. They give you updated news. It's great for fantasy. If any of you guys are in fantasy hockey, it's great for fantasy hockey.
I suck at fantasy hockey. Some next.
But yeah,
Guys are in fantasy.
you should definitely look into that.
Okay. Anyways,
And last news around the league is Shesterkin is also in his last year of playing with his 5.67 cap hit, which is a hell of a bargain for him. He's in line for a massive extension. It was reported in June that he's looking for $12 million a year. That would make him the highest paid goalie in the league. the current highest paid goalie playing, like actively playing, makes $10 million. Who do you think that is?
Vaz.
No.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna guess
somebody who probably shouldn't be making.
CJ, got any guesses who the goalie is that makes
No.
10 mil a year?
I was gonna say Vasilevsky. I don't.
Yeah, that was mine.
He's close.
I'm not going to tell you because I had it.
He knows the answer, but come on, take
Eastern Conference.
he's on the East.
Jari.
No,
His name rhymes with Rob.
Is it Bobrovsky?
it's Bob Broski.
Wow.
He makes
Oh,
$10 million
wow.
a year.
And his contract ends in 25. So he's also,
Another year.
Oh, so he's getting paid still.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially after the year he just had.
I mean, they just
That-
won the cup. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Carey Price is the highest paid goalie right now, and I want to say he's 11.
He's
or
10 and a half.
5. I was
And his also ends in 25.
his ends next year.
When's it expire?
Next year.
Yeah.
He's getting paid to go on vacation.
Yeah,
I was
he's
gonna say.
Yeah, Vasilevsky's 9.5. Hellebuck's right there.
8.5 is Hellebuck.
Yeah, and then Sorokin.
He's at 8.25. And
he just
Hellebuck and
signed his.
Sorokin just got paid. Both of theirs are done in 30 and 31 respectively.
Yeah, so they're a little bit longer now. So, do you think he should be the highest paid goalie in the league?
100%.
Yeah.
I do too.
Probably.
I would have no problem with him being.
I would like to see him in a different division.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
You know
Get
what?
him out of
Yeah,
our
so I was-
division.
Yeah, can we get some like ass goalies in our division?
No.
We got Sorokin,
Wide.
Shesterkin.
Wide.
Markstrom is about to have a big year in New
Jari.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
need
got-
Markstrom to have a massive
I
year.
mean, Carter Hart, we don't have to worry about him anymore. But
He's just
I mean,
Yeah,
we got Freddie Anderson and
Bob
round four
Roski's
pick.
still in our side. Like he's not in our division, but
Still in the East.
Still in the East.
yeah, I mean the Eastern Conference goalies.
Or unreal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
well, yeah, 4 out of the 5 top highest are all from the East.
Yeah, they're
If you include Carey Price. In
yeah,
that.
and we have Tristan Jarry. So,
Yikes.
moving into the Penguins. We'll
Speaking
talk
of the
about-
Penguins.
yeah, we'll talk about the preseason a little bit. Half the AHL teams playing, half to 3/4. Just some quick notes from the games that I have watched. Jesse P. I'm not pronouncing that last name. That's,
Puljujärvi.
Puljujärvi.
Bully RV.
that's great, Jesse P. He had a hat trick in the blowout with the Sabres. I feel like his problem is the same every year. It was the same problem in Edmonton. It's the same problem last year. His problem is consistency. He'll go on real hot streaks where he looks really good, and then he looks like he has never stepped foot on an ice hockey rink in his life. If he can keep his consistency across the year, I think he's a solid contributor for us. If he goes hot and cold again like Katy Perry, I don't know where he's going to be in come trade time. So,
It's a hell of a reference there, by the way.
Yeah.
That was clean.
thank you.
Did like that.
St. Ivany looks more confident as each game goes by. He had 1 goal last time I checked. He might have had a little more. Tiggs, I hope he fights you and puts you through a table.
I
I was talking about the.
I do like St. Ivany.
I like
For
him
what it's
too.
worth.
I think they're kind of expecting him to play the Chad Ruido role.
Say that 10 times fast.
No.
Chad Ruido roll. Chad
I'm
Ruido
not
roll.
doing that.
Chad Ruido roll. Chad Ruido roll. Chad
And
Ruido
you're
roll.
done. And you're cooked.
I tried.
Yeah, I think he'll be really, really good. I really like the way he plays. Like he is not scared to just hit somebody along the boards. Like
I
feel,
love that.
Yeah, we need somebody like that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of our defensemen are really, really skilled, which is great. But at the same time, like they're not as physical. He has no problem squaring up with somebody. So,
What's Matt Cook doing nowadays? We get him back.
Probably.
He's probably like 42.
I don't give a shit.
yeah,
I was gonna say,
he's probably
chugging beers.
Yeah,
he's probably
he's chugging beers with George LaRock.
yeah.
You sign him to
Yeah.
crush anybody that hits Sid, Gino, or
he just
you know.
has like a shadow box in his house. With
You
Eric
know who?
Carson's
You know
Achilles
what?
heel.
You know what Penguin I used to love? Steve Downey.
Hell yeah.
I was all about Steve Downey, and then we got Ryan Reeves, and he was. But, what else is new? The power play is still struggling. So, I don't think that it's a fair representation because again, it was the AHL team playing.
But it's gonna look exactly the same. with the
I'm
NHL team.
really hoping our NHL team does not look like last year. We
Pass.
we looked like we didn't even know what the hell we were doing.
Pass for a minute 30, shoot it maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
Got it.
Missed the net and then puck goes
Yeah,
up.
Yeah.
missed the net,
Shorthanded goal.
and now it's a breakaway for the other
Yeah,
team.
sick.
Bloomquist,
Mm-hmm.
he looked rough. I
Now,
don't.
to be fair, Buffalo, their home opener.
Buffalo's whole team played.
Buffalo whole team played. I mean, you basically had almost Buffalo's entire starting roster playing, which I respect because as a fan of any team, if you go to a home game during the preseason, I'm not going to see Jesse Puljujarvi play. No offense.
Yeah.
I'm going to see like Sid, McGrody, Malkin, Letang, like all those big guys. So I mean, feel bad for Bloomquist, but to be fair, he didn't have the best
Team
army in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh no, it looked like a pack of pylons.
Kind of looked like the Screaming Eagles.
That's not my issue. Next we have Sam Pullian. How do you say his last name? It always confuses me too. But I think this is a make it or break it year for him. He looks kind of like on the fence. Like it's almost as if like, and like I know a few years ago he went through some mental health things, and if you haven't listened to last episode's pod, or you just rewind this one for like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago when CJ talked about just right off the building topics that I talked about last week. This is something for him that I think is a confidence thing where he needs to be consistently plugged into the lineup and consistently getting time. I think this whole thing...
Time in the top 6 for that matter.
Yeah, I think this whole up and down shit with him, it has to stop. Like, we have to make a decision as a team. It kind of is similar to what I said when Sawinski was struggling, where it's you have to make a decision, you have to support that decision, and then you have to either grow with that decision or put him in a position to find his footing. It can't be this up and down bullshit anymore. He's getting to the point where he's either going to play in the NHL or he's going to be a career AHLer, and whatever option it is, I wish him nothing but the best. But a decision needs to be made because it can't be this up and down bullshit. Last but not least, Cody Glass. He looks pretty good.
I love that trade, by the way.
Oh, I do too. I've always liked him. He's probably going to play on a third line on a wing with Eller. I hope he has a really strong year. He had a really strong year last year. I was kind of surprised that we got him, but he's projected to play on the third line. I would assume if there's an injury, he'll slide up. He can play up and down the lineup. So moving into our openings.
Time out. One thing.
Go ahead.
One thing. I pulled up the preseason game. We are winning 4-2 right now.
Nice.
Crosby and Malkin each have 2 goals.
You have 2 goals.
And
one of them's on the power play.
2.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a
two.
Corey hot take.
2 power play
Yeah.
goals. And then
Good job, Core.
What did I do?
Pickering got his first assist today. So
Oh,
Love that
good.
for him.
we're looking good today.
I think he'll be in the AHL to start the year. He's
100%.
just-
100%.
But I am stoked to see him play. He looks like an animal,
Yeah.
like a beast. So
We need the help
What
on
a-
D. We can
Finally, yeah, it'd be nice to have like a real defenseman.
yeah, he's also massive. He's like real tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's massive and not good at defense? Graves.
One more thing, Penguins related here before we move on to the opening schedule.
And
The Penguins Red Wings game last night originally got postponed from 7 to 8:30 due to plane struggles, and then obviously the game got canceled. I don't know if there's ever been a preseason game, to my knowledge, that has been just canceled. I mean, I'd have to look back. I'm sure there was once upon a time, not counting COVID, but I mean.
My whole thing
Is
with
what it is.
my whole thing with the delay too was like if we didn't take off when we were supposed to take off,
But they were on the plane.
Right.
They showed
What-
the pictures.
what were they gonna do? They were gonna land, get dressed, and go right on a race.
Right.
Like what?
They were actually getting dressed on the plane.
Right.
Yeah, they were like
had
Sid,
their
get
skate-
them wrapped.
They had their
Like,
skate guards on, and they were sitting on.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
off the plane
Yeah.
in their skates.
it would have been a longer walk than Corey Perry took in the Winter Classic when he got kicked out in the first 3 minutes.
The walk of shame.
Yeah, like I don't know, like whatever for that. It is what it is. But we're gonna move into the opening schedule.
Let's go.
So our opening schedule is we
October
get to
9th.
yeah,
Yes, sir. Already got
We-
my tickets.
we get to
Can't wait.
start with
Well, yeah.
we get to play against who's projected to be the highest paid goalie in the league next year. So I have one sentence written down for each game. It's just my perspective. Feel free to add yours. CJ, you can also add yours too. So we play the Rangers first. The note that I have is get in front of Igor early. He struggles from time to time when there's traffic in front. I feel like last year watching him, the minute you put a big SOB in front of him and just get the rebounds right off of him, he kind of struggles. So get in front of him early. Park your ass there. That's what I like to tell my players. Park your ass in front of a goalie, and everything goes well from there. Do you guys have anything on that?
I do. I would say get physical.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Rangers are a physical team with
Watch
Trouba.
for elbows.
Yeah, watch for elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trouba
Big
and,
elbows guy.
Trouba and Rempe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you have to like, Rempe, I think is gonna come out and set a tone like real quick. And you gotta keep it under control.
Yeah.
Or else it's
Yeah.
gonna get real.
If not,
ugly.
match it.
actually,
too. You
that's when
can't
you
just
just-
take that.
You just drop the gloves with Rempe on the opening face.
Well, that's what
I
he's
mean,
going to
that's
look to do
also-
anyway. Who's going to fight him?
Yeah, that's a
Sid.
good point.
Sid.
Yes.
Can you imagine Sid squaring up with him?
Sid would
Yeah.
knock his silly ass out.
I get real scared real quick.
Yeah, exactly. I would be like,
How tall is he? Isn't
No,
he
because
huge?
you know Sid
Yeah,
plays the
he's
ground
six-
game. Sid will
six-
just get him
yeah.
on the ground.
Sid,
Yeah.
Sid definitely
Sid would be bouncing
has-
his head.
He definitely has a background in wrestling. He has to.
Jiu-jitsu, actually.
yeah.
He's probably a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and just nobody knows about it. Because every time that Sid gets any type of scrap, he just goes for the takedown. Every time.
Yeah, and he-
gets it.
and he gets it
And
every
then
All
time.
you, all you need is one of them,
PK
them,
Subban's
them
head
college
off
refs,
his-
like the college high school or the college wrestling refs to come and be like, "Two!" waiting for it.
Our second game is against the Young Red Wings. My note on that is close the gaps on offense. They have a real quick offense that comes at you extremely quick. You have Sider on the back end. He signed that massive extension. They're a very, very fast team. I think our defense kind of struggled last year with gap control a little bit. So my advice on that is to close the gaps on offense.
I'm here for it. Next.
Keep it short and sweet.
Yeah. Now we have the Maple Leafs. Watch for the new captain. That dude puts in. I saw this thing the other day that somebody's like, he could put in 100 goals in a year.
Yeah, right.
I don't think that's happening. That's a lot.
He's not. There's no way he's repeating the performance he had last year.
I think that's. I mean, how could you? Right? That's like. But then again, we sat here and not to steal maybe another topic, but we talked about it last week. But like Shohei, right? We sat here last year. We were like, he's having a phenomenal year. Then this year, we're like, no way he could. And then he just did more. And I was like, well, shit. I think you got to watch for him. Don't take penalties. That penalty,
That
that
power
power
play.
play is gross.
Lethal.
Just
Yeah.
another quick team.
Yeah, they're all teams are quick.
Except for us.
But yeah, I was going to say,
Right.
against us.
And
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah. Next we have the Canadians. They're another team. They have a lot of young guys. Looking to prove themselves. Caulfield, everyone knows how I feel about him. Shout out to Cole.
Slavkovsky.
Love him.
Maybe he'll do something.
Yeah,
this
not
year.
Line A. He
I
got
was just
hurt.
going to say, is he like out?
Line A got hurt.
Laine,
He's
his
weak.
knee is
I
not,
think he's week to week
his
right
knee's
now.
not doing well.
Not good.
No, he got Cam Neely'd. I think with the Canadians, you have, again, similar to the Red Wings, you have to shut down that speed. That whole team is fast. Shut that shit down. Just shut that shit right down. And then we have the Sabres. Their entire team funnels through two people. I know I have one written here. It's funnels through Tage Thompson and Darlene on the back end.
Rasmus.
Yeah, watch those two dudes.
Rasmus.
They put up. They should both have over 60-point seasons.
Oh, easily. If Tate stays healthy and he goes back into the 2022 season that he had, yeah. I mean, I have Tage, so
I also have him in another league. Yeah, I like Tage. He's one of my favorite players to watch, but you cannot F around with him. He'll bury four and you before you blink. So those are my noites.
those are his noites.
Those are my notes on the first 5 games. We'll see how we're square up next time we record. And then the last thing I had was season record predictions. We did this with the Pirates. We're going to do it with the Penguins. I'll start. I think we're going to go 45, 27, and 10. That's 100 points even, like round numbers here. So
Before we move on to the next, what if any of us finish with the correct prediction, what do we win?
A pat on the back. I don't know.
You get to.
I'll
put
tell you what
something
I
through
win.
Table.
Okay, I'm here for it.
You
I'm
gotta
here
put
for
Dylan
You got to
through
get a
table.
Yin's cast tattoo on your forearm.
All right, Dill, what's your record prediction?
I'm
There
going to
you
say
go.
42, 32, and 8, which puts us at 92 points.
Okay. I have us at 40, 32, and 10, which would be 90 points.
yo, feeling a real tens on there.
Corey,
Yeah, sorry, fellas. I got him 37, 35, and 10.
Damn.
how many points?
That is 84.
Yeah,
84.
that's not good. That's
Shout
not
out,
good.
AB.
Yeah, not great. Are we better than last year? Yeah, but we're going to rely heavy on veteran leadership this year, I feel. And
All right,
they can't
Tiggs.
do it all.
What you got?
I got 39, 31, and 12. Honestly, could have won for 15 if we wanted to, because we do not win in overtime. So
That's
Right.
true. Very true. It's why I mean, all of our numbers are above 8, which is probably above league average at this point.
All right, CJ. I know it's going to be hard to rattle 82 divided by wins, losses, and ties here. But what is your point prediction for the Penguins this season?
Well, and I was kind of thinking about that while you guys were going through it. I may not be able to have like a prediction right off the top of my head, but looking at the notes that you sent me with all of your guys' numbers, I'm just gonna go like I would probably agree with Tiggs the most. Like I would agree with 90 points or yours, Zach. I mean, I don't know. I could also see an argument for Corey's with 84 and just
Appreciate
relying
that.
heavily. Yeah, I mean,
Someone needs to
relying
respect me around here.
Yeah, relying on the veteran leadership, man. It's like I do believe we are going to be better than last year, but not much. I feel like the guys we were talking about earlier that just need to develop, and I like what we have for this year so far, but if the power play doesn't get rolling at all, we're going to struggle hard, especially having all the vets. So I would probably agree most with either Tiggs or Corey.
Last thing here we have about hockey. I gave my full healthy All-Star game lineup right around the All-Star break prediction. Okay?
Jesus. That's so far in advance.
Well, I'm just saying because
Can I get
because
to
some
tomorrow's work?
because some,
Shit.
I'm saying this is the ideal full healthy lineup maybe right around the break.
Okay.
Yep. McGrody, Sid, and Russ, line 1.
Okay.
Line 2's never going to change. It's going to be Bunting, Malkin, Raquel, right? Line 3, I really love DOC, Eller, and
Glass.
yeah,
I
Cody
like
Glass.
that line.
And then 4th line is Babillier, Kevin Hayes, and Noel Chari. I do see Babillier maybe sliding up to Sid's wing, having that just more physical guy. We'll see how that goes. Grizzlick, Letang is a first pairing. Pedersen, EK65 if he ever decides he wants to play hockey, because Sullivan likes to list everybody as day to day, and I have a weird feeling that it's going to turn in from day to day into a early season surgery.
And then he's gonna miss half the year.
He did skate this past week.
Mark Stone.
He skated later, I guess, in this past week, and then they gave him the weekend off. So he hasn't skated in training camp at all yet. And then last pairing, obviously, we're gonna have everyone's favorite Penguin, Ryan Graves, and St. Ivany, and then Jari and Ned.
I genuinely hope. Like, I liked Graves on jersey. First off, I like John Marino. Think we should have never gone rid of him.
100%.
Yeah, it was
However,
agree.
I liked Graves on jersey, and then he came here and he just looked uncomfy.
he looks
Like,
like
he just looked uncomfy.
Dion Phaneuf, just a pylon.
Traffic code.
Yeah, like I hope one for the contract that we signed his ass to, but 2, like, he seems like a genuinely nice person. From what I've been told of people that have met him, I really hope that he rebounds this year.
I do too.
I really like him. He's young. Still think we should have John Marino, but that's my take on him.
Moving on from NHL here, CJ, we like to do a trivia / game every week, and Corey hosts.
Yeah, where Z squared
No
on
one
this
actually-
bench is the ones.
So I'm not quite sure what Corey has in store for us today, but let's see what you got here, Corey.
All right.
Yeah. First of all, CJ, give me a number between 1 and 5.
Oh Jesus.
Well, there's only 5 options.
4.
4 was his number.
Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So for this game, it's 20 words or less. So Pittsburgh themed, of course, like it says. So there's a list on everybody's card that has 7 words on it that is all Pittsburgh related. Your job is someone gives clues, someone has to guess the word
I've seen this
you're
game.
giving clues to, but you only have 20 words to get all 7
Okay.
of the clues that are on the card.
Okay.
So I figured, obviously, you two, and then me and CJ.
Fair.
So obviously, CJ, you can't see the damn card, so I will be giving the clues to you. But like I said,
damn, really?
everything is Pittsburgh related,
Who would have thought we're together?
and you only have 20 words or less to get all of the things that are on the list.
So
there.
one person's guessing, one person's giving the clues.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
Are you a giver or a
the
taker?
random number
Depends on what context you're talking
was to give the
This one.
like the I guess the
The giver.
words. So It came out. Me and CJ are first. Tiggs and Dylan are second. Du Bois and DeJames are third.
We're still the ones.
And I'm
that
not
don't
giving
matter.
any of you the cards because one, y'all are cheating some bitches.
No, we're not.
And two,
We're cheating.
and two,
They're over
doesn't
there with the
allow
Black
you
Sox.
to strategize.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair.
So let me find Team 1's card. Which
I'm
is right
guessing
here.
CJ is going to be the guesser here.
I did just say I'm going to be the clue. Yeah.
He actually did in fact say that.
No pressure here, CJ.
But I need someone to
I was gonna
track.
say, damn guys.
Track the words.
I need somebody to track how many words
Dill,
I'm using.
Dill, you
So
got
I'm gonna
that?
do that for you guys. All right, like I said, 20 words or less.
Steve?
This is all Pittsburgh terms or whatever. Okay, CJ.
All right.
All right. So first clue. Let's go with
That's 3 words.
no. I'm going to use a lot here to start. Not so famous sandwich.
Oh, what a brutal start.
From Annie's.
Yes.
I feel like you could just put that with fries.
Do I?
Yeah, that was right. So this is word 2. See, I'm only trying to use one word.
This is a
so
20-minute show.
Yeah. Thunderbolt.
Kennywood.
Yep. Ohio.
Shithole.
Monongahela.
River.
The word's rivers, but yeah. How many did I use?
That's 6.
You're 6.
7.
Yeah, let's go 7.
Shittle.
Okay, yellow.
Black.
443.
Yeah, you cooked him on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Clemente.
Bridge.
How many do I have left?
I don't know. He was counting.
I don't think that I would have known how far the bridge is.
Well, the number was for how many we had in the city, but I couldn't remember the exact number. All right. Rapper.
Wiz Khalifa.
Correct.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, 9's easy. We only got 2 more. Renegade.
Steelers.
Wave.
Did you say wave?
Yep.
That's another word.
Terrible towel.
Yes. And then the last one. How many do I have left?
I think 6.
Get on it, Steve.
I have 7 left.
You trying to take him off it?
Country bar.
Tequila Cowboy.
Correct. All right, so that's all 7. How many words did? All right, so we
15
used
words.
15. So you guys have to beat 15 now.
We're not going second.
Yeah, you guys. Are
I just
team
already
two.
know
Good job,
that our card's
CJ.
gonna be the most obscene shit in the world.
Hey, 15's not bad to start off.
How are we doing this, though?
Yeah, who's
Oh,
the
so
clue
it's
giver?
actually
Okay,
beneficial
I'm not
to go
good at guessing.
first.
You're giving the clues.
This is gonna
Yeah.
be real
Very
bad.
cool. You
Give
keep
it.
track of the
There you go,
words,
buddy.
then, I guess.
Yeah, hold on
You
one
wanna
second. Let me
give
get
the
back to.
You ass.
Hey, see you, bud. Thanks for coming, by the way.
He's
All right,
he's
let
going to
me,
go.
get a blank
Zach's going
document
to the
here.
restroom, by the way. CJ, in case that's why I was telling him to leave.
Whenever you're ready.
Do you keep track of how many
Yep.
of them, right? Okay.
From right field.
From what?
Potato and dough.
French fry.
Bro.
Oh.
You only get you're not allowed to like guess
Okay.
3 times.
Uh,
You have
no,
to
I
give
got
another
it.
clue.
No,
I
you have to
got
say
it.
another clue.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
can't
got
just
it.
guess 3
Hold on.
times.
Cheese.
Pierogi.
There you go.
Okay, so that's 1.
You didn't have to use 3 words the first time. You could have said something better.
You could have said salt.
Jalapeno Hannah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Mount Washington.
Hell.
I mean, it's definitely a hill. Let me tell you.
Motorized.
Oh, they incline.
Kid space.
Carnegie Science Center.
Nailed it.
Nice.
That
was a
is
good one.
that's crazy.
That is impressive.
That was good.
Wow.
I was going to say the sports complex. Or the science center, I mean.
Steelers home.
Acrisure Stadium.
I did take Heinz Field.
The south
I
side.
was just, I was like, I'll be.
1,
I'll
2,
be.
3, 4,
Make sure we're not
6,
getting hit on
8, 9,
technicalities
10,
here.
11. So you got 9 more, but you got to beat 15. So that ain't happen.
Ice.
Ooh.
PBG paints arena. Well, now you just threw me off, Dill.
What?
Ice players.
I don't know what you're looking at me for. I'm not giving you the
Because
answer.
you're staring at
This
me.
is
Oh,
crazy.
sorry. Let me quit staring.
Let me quit staring. We're trying to help you out over here. We're trying to transmit.
Sidney Crosby.
Jesus.
No.
He said his
Entire.
Attire?
Entire.
Entire.
This is crazy.
Do you know what it is?
Yes. I feel like we all know what it is, except him.
I know what it is, obviously.
Well, I would hope so, if you know how to read. Would you like to phone a friend, Regis Philbin?
You're at 14, just so you know.
I'm to waste them here because
I'm not getting this, Dill,
Why
so
don't
we're
you-
beat.
You're not getting this?
No, you gotta go in order, buddy.
Oh my god, this is
Okay, so what I said, ice.
Yeah, say zoo.
Player
Say
entire.
zoo next.
Entire or attire?
Entire. He
Entire.
clarified it already.
Tire.
Jesus.
Holy.
I mean, that's a good clue. Oh my god. Oh no.
This is the wildest. And this is why they're the twos.
Yeah.
You have 5 more.
Just give all 5 on this one.
Yeah, you.
Well, I got it now. Penguins.
Well, I gotta charge you a clue there. Go ahead.
Waterboat.
Waterboat.
Jesus Christ.
The Gateway Clipper.
How many do I have left?
I believe 1. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So you have actually 2.
French fries.
French
Yeah, that's.
Thank
Oh, okay. He got it.
Finally.
It's more
What the
impressive.
hell does entire have to do with the Penguin?
He was going for the
The
whole
entire
team.
team. You said Sidney Crosby. He said entire.
I said ice player in the entire.
You could have just said PBG Paints Arena again or Stanley Cup.
All right.
All right, so you
I
gotta
just
beat.
texted him.
You gotta beat 15 to win.
Okay.
Yep. That's your arm. Deep breath. We got this.
All right, I'm back.
Beautiful.
Hey, we are too.
We're just
Hey,
starting
We're in
round
the
3.
lead still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said they gotta beat 15
Yeah, until the ones come.
to win.
The ones that
All right.
won this.
Go for it.
Mac and cheese bites.
Sheets.
Wait, hold on. Time out.
That's 4.
That's 4.
Jesus.
But hope you know. There's no.
That's
there's-
fine.
Okay, I'm
That's
just making
fine.
sure we're on the same page.
Go for it.
Mind your business, Black Sox.
Good job.
Shut up over there.
So
plants.
that's why you're here, Dill.
Phipps.
Yep.
Boom.
That's so easy.
You picked your cards.
No, I didn't.
It was randomized.
Yeah.
Well, the randomizer
Mm-hmm.
picked them.
Blame our established guest.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Entire.
City nickname.
Steel City. How many were?
Steel was the.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Okay.
Well, I clarified.
Yeah,
too.
it works. You said the word.
How many words, Matt?
7.
7.
7.
Let's go 7.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't like this.
Hype song.
Party hard.
Steelers.
Renegade.
You had an opportunity and you missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had the word entire in my head.
Still thinking about it.
This is a tough one.
Entire.
You're probably not going to get this.
I love that.
Drink.
Oh, fuck.
Milk.
Iron City. I feel like that was a good guess.
It
That's a
wasn't
good
that
guess for
fast.
me.
That's what I
That
was
was a good
not
guess for
bad.
me.
Mm-mm. Timmy.
Turner.
Yep.
Turner's.
Okay,
That was
wait,
a
but
real good
that's not
It doesn't
the
matter.
answer though.
Turner's tea.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a real good clue, Maka. I'll give you that one. That's
Condiment.
Ketchup.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean,
Well, he nodded his head, and you're over here making grunt noises like a tennis player. So
it's like,
good. That's a technicality.
yeah,
That's a big
is that
technicality.
Heinz?
Yeah, but he has to
yeah,
give
but
it
I had to
right
charge
clue.
Now
you a clue.
he has to give a clue, though.
Yeah, so you
How
have
many
to
we
say
at?
This will be your 15th.
I mean, you can
clue.
say any clue right now. and
This is the
he'll
last word? Oh,
This will be the 15th clue.
guess. This is a big moment here.
It is, and I'm trying to think of how I can word this.
You have. I'll give you a time.
well, you got one word.
No,
forget what the
I know
last
I got
word is.
one word.
Do it.
Yinzer.
Oh, you asshole.
Nation! Wake the fuck up.
That's how you should start your
In the
podcast.
beginning.
Is it Bednar?
Ding.
What was it?
No,
We
you
still
got
together.
Well, it doesn't matter. We're still smoking you.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you're gonna get this.
They're playing for second right now.
So
Well, that's
Hard,
a
buddy.
hard
No, well, technically, yeah. You have 5 more to go. So.
slang.
Pittsburghese.
Yeah, nice.
That was actually. I probably wouldn't know.
We
All right,
still.
so-
Wait,
Hey,
what was your?
don't
what
matter.
was your first
16.
We beat you.
Yinzer.
I guess I would have said language, maybe. Would have been mine, but
Would've been
that
so
would have
wrong.
been. That's tough.
Dylan's would have been entire.
You sold on. I tried to give you the drink for Turner's, and it was probably in your mind between Turner's and Iron City. So.
Yeah, it was one or the other.
Turner City is obviously just a Pittsburgh thing, so that's why.
I mean, so is Iron City. So.
Yeah,
True.
that's.
So,
So we got
CJ,
16.
congrats
Yo,
on your
sick number.
one and done with the win. Love that out of you.
Yep.
He's
And
never
then
allowed him back on. He's want to know.
these
He's got
guys-
to stop at the top.
Came in second at 16. You guys used all 20.
Yikes.
But at least we got him.
Yeah, I mean, there
We
was
said it,
no,
like-
there technically was no loser, like over 20.
I mean, if you're not first, you're last.
Just
though.
saying, if you wouldn't have said entire, we probably couldn't.
still pissed about it, bro.
All right, moving
Oh,
on.
man.
Speaking of Renegade, David Bednar,
What? These are for you.
them good old Buccos down in North Shore.
I need
Oh, yeah.
those.
Easy.
Hey, Carney the Clown, get to it.
Canny.
Hey, Carrie the Clown, get to it.
Are you done over there?
I was gonna throw them at the camera. but
We're
I didn't
talking
use
about
them.
down in North Shore, not Acrisure,
yeah, that
PNC
other
Park.
place. Yeah,
Hell
that
yeah.
other place.
Pirates baseball.
Yeah, we'll start with some Bucks here. So season wrapped up today. I honestly don't know. They lost. Did they lose or win?
They lost.
I thought they lost. Yeah.
Yep.
Could not complete the sweep.
But yeah. So Nick York and Billy the Thrill Cook.
Let 'em cook.
Both have hit their first career home runs since their last podcast. I tried to reference that as best as I could. Cook actually has 3 home runs now. York has 2. So hopefully they have some good futures with the team, I would hope. Especially, it seems like they at least kind of have a plan for Cook. I think he's going to be in the outfield next year, either as a 3rd or 4th outfielder. I'm not sure which it's going to be, but Nick York's kind of in a tricky spot because I don't know if he's going to be able to play short. Nick Gonzalez kind of has second lockdown at the moment, but York's flexible, so he could play a lot of different positions. So he'll have somewhere to go next year.
I feel like we have a lot of those guys that can play. Like,
I mean, that's what happens when you got 14 middle infielders on your team.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
you don't really have a
Also
choice.
true.
To play
We have
somewhere
13
else.
now because we put Cruz out in center. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Glaring hole at shortstop, so we'll see what happens with that. But
Put Cruz back there.
right.
Haven't played both. We'll play with 8 field.
I mean, hey,
Have him
no,
run in between.
no bullshit aside, he could run between. He loves to play the outfield,
100%.
True.
so let him play short.
Two
does love to
outfielders,
play
left
the
center,
outfield.
right center. You
Yep.
don't need-
We don't. Yeah, exactly.
Down the line, it's an inside the park home
that
run.
must
That's
have been
okay.
the thought process with moving him to center. They're like, he loves running out
Yep.
there so much, we might as well just
They
put him
they
out
saw him run out and collide with Reynolds in that Astro series, and they're
on
like,
the warning track.
They said
Yeah.
get him out.
and they're like, go out the center. It's yours. Have fun.
Yeah.
Run as much as you want because that's all you're gonna be doing out there.
Yep.
Because Reynolds can't field and De La Cruz can't field, so you're basically
full
covering the whole
De La
outfield.
Cruz can go to the moon at this point.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was quite the pickup there.
Yeah.
Really helped the team.
Moving on from that, they won their first series in almost a month against the Yankees. Good
Wow.
job, boys. Way to
Yeah,
get it done.
get wrecked.
Yeah,
The
you
Yankees were
fans.
playing for nothing, so it didn't really matter. But
Right. Hey,
you
we don't have to know
I'll
that.
always take a win against the
They
Yankees.
don't have to know that.
They don't have to know.
They don't have to know they were playing for nothing.
Going
Yeah.
into
A
playoffs
win's a win.
with 2 losses against the Pirates.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is
Could be
rough.
demoralizing.
Just for them to steamroll whoever they're playing in the first round.
But we'll get more into
Yeah.
that later. Corey.
Yes.
So, moving on from there, Skeens capped off his historic
Rookie of the Year campaign.
Rookie of the Year season in 2 scoreless, sitting down Judge Soto.
Yeah, 100
That
miles
was-
an hour on the.
That pitch to Soto was literally one of the grossest things I've
Yeah,
seen.
dude.
Yeah, Shota was Shota.
Shota, no, he plays for the Cubs.
Yeah, he plays for the Cubs.
Soto
Thank you.
was shuffling his ass right back to the dugout.
Yeah.
on that.
He said, "Let me do the cha-cha slide right back to the
Yeah.
dugout."
Everybody said that Skeen should have hit the Soto shuffle. Struck him out. Mike Burrows also made his debut, earned his first win of his career.
Good for him.
3 1/3 score, or not scoreless, 1 run.
I'll take that.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
He also struck out Aaron Judge.
Well, Aaron Judge had the platinum sombrero.
Yeah, so did another 3 other pitchers.
Yeah. 0 for 5, 5 strikeouts. How you doing? How you been?
That's better than
Yeah.
Ellie. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Cruz at the start of the year.
And yeah, the bats kind of lit it up in New York. Reynolds had a couple home runs. Gonzalez had, did he have 2? I think that series.
So when Reynolds, I think it was Friday, I was over here for the draft, and I was sitting right there, almost half asleep, and
What else? Is
whoever
there?
hit the one right before Reynolds, I looked right at him.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, I said, "Yo, it'd
Nicky.
be sick if Reynolds just crushed one." And then we watched it. I was like, "Should have bet money on that."
That was Reynolds' 3rd time in his career hitting a home run from both sides playing the same game. 2nd time this season.
And back-to-back at bats too.
Yeah.
That's our first baseman.
Rowdy who?
That is our first baseman.
It'd be nice if we could play like every game in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, well, I mean that's why
Oh,
they
yeah,
have so
must
many
be nice
home
to be Aaron
runs.
Judge.
Yeah, Cruz would hit 90 home runs.
Aaron Judge has hit like at least 3/4 of his home runs there.
Yeah, wonder
That's all
why.
I gotta say.
Wonder why.
Just saying.
That's all I gotta say.
Anyways, continue.
And then we'll circle back to the beginning of the year, kind of how we did with the Penguins.
Circling the wagon.
With our record predictions. So, DuBois said 82 wins, no playoffs.
I was closest,
You went
but I went over.
70% there. Good job.
But I went over.
DeJames won 85 wins, make the playoffs. Not good.
That's both losses there, bud.
Corey, 86 wins, did not have to jump in the river.
Thank God.
He has a condition he couldn't anyways.
He can dip his toes in.
He would have had to elected one of us to do it.
So
and I'm really
CJ,
hoping he would pick Dill.
Just giving you a little insight here. Corey said if the Pirates won over 80, he would jump in the river, and Tig said if they won over 90, he would jump in the river.
Oh, dude. Well, hopefully you guys get to miss out on getting tapeworm. So that's fine.
That's fair.
Dylan said, well, actually, Dylan and I both said 90 wins and make
I mean,
the
at least I
playoffs, and
wasn't that
obviously
bad.
did not happen.
I was the only one that had anything right.
Pessimist.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you. I get a
Proud
high
of you.
five or something?
No, you just don't believe in this team.
Yeah, it's actually a
put
fake
that hand
fan.
down.
Before we move on to maybe some awards here,
You're welcome.
I thought I put that for
No.
a second.
No, we're looking at the notes.
moving on, before we go on to maybe some awards of the year, there is the lot of banner about Rowdy Tellez with the 4 at-bats away from 200,000 being DFA'd last week.
Yeah, and then they said, let's run it back today.
Whoa.
And then they
More
said,
about tomorrow. Or more about today.
and then they said IKF today didn't play. He was also 4 bats away from 250K. So I did a little research, did a little deep dive here, and IKF was approached by management and asked about this scenario that he was 4 bats away from getting the $250,000 signing bonus, and he was okay with the younger guys taking the
I
advantage.
did see that.
He said Bob Dunning is my hero.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
do anything.
Now, in
for him.
my opinion, there is
He said, I'll save you some money.
the Rowdy thing. It is what it is. They blew it off that the minor league season ended, so they called up the guys. You could say how you want, but IKF giving up $250,000, he's getting some sort of incentive for that.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
they're
Okay.
not like if he said that, hey, I'm willing to not play these last 4 at bats, so maybe he would have had 3 today. Who would have known? You
They
know
said,
what I mean?
welcome to right field, buddy.
So they could have had, Billy. I don't know the starting lineup today, but those younger guys, giving them a
chance.
more experience in the major league.
Especially in Yankee Stadium too. Like that's a cool way to end the series, even though we.
Speaking of Yankee Stadium, Livy Dunn's boots were sick as hell.
those were.
I want to know.
sick.
I want to know where I could get a pair.
She put it out on her Twitter. She tagged the girl.
Yeah, I'm about to get some Screaming Eagles customized boots for Nashville.
Screaming Eagles, I'll get you Central Catholic customized boots.
I will say though, with IKF, I mean, maybe he has apparently bought into the organization. He thinks they're going to do well next year. So maybe he's hoping by doing that they'll consider giving him some sort of extension next year. So
Team
maybe
player.
That's his thought process, but
And like I said, Judge was 0 for 5. I just had to say that again.
with 5 strikes.
Five
Dude,
strikeouts.
I'm taking the money.
Yeah, I am too.
If think about the average MLB career for the average player, and then if my boss is Bob Nutting, I'm taking the money while I have it. I'm sorry, like,
I'm taking that $250,000 on a Pirates loss because they're not completing the sweep.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm 3 at bats away from 250. Fuck them kids. I'm taking I'm taking the money, man. I don't know. I feel like pro careers for average guys aren't that long. So like you guys said, there has to be some incentive that was just too good for him to pass up. Because if I'm a professional and this is my career and I bought my way to get there, waving goodbye to $250K just to be a good person, I don't believe it.
I don't know if I do it for $250.
Bob Nutting actually shoved him into a closet with a baseball bat and was like, "Your kneecaps are gone if you play today."
He put the white light on him like interrogation.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you may not be able to pay your mortgage and feed your family in 2 years, but if you're a good person, and let the kids play,
you're gonna be
Bob
in with
Nutting
Jesus.
actually said, if you take off the last game of the season, we'll give you a $100 gift card to North Shore Tavern on the Pirates.
I'll get you
some steak on a stove.
Yeah, I'll get you
steak on a stove.
I'll give you a bottle of Wiggle whiskey and
a free night stay at Seven Springs.
Yeah.
We'll guarantee you a spot in a commercial with Neil Walker for steak on a stone.
You can't forget about some free newspapers too.
Oh, that is true.
He's like, do you like skiing or snowboarding? I got just the place for you.
Yeah, dude. Fuck them kids. I'm taking that money.
What do you got? What do you got for awards?
Yeah, so we'll just do a few awards, even though some of them are kind of givens here. But we'll go around the circle here, and we'll do who was your hitter of the year.
I'll go first. Reynolds.
All right, I'll go second. Cruz.
I'll go third.
That's kind of a circle works.
I am only saying Rowdy because as much as he sucked, he brought it back, and I got to appreciate him bringing it back.
All right. That's fine. Make a wish over here.
Yeah. All right, Dill, on that point.
He must be on the same Alaskan trip.
You want me to say Sawinski? Because I was going to say him.
I'm going to go with Cruz.
Cruz.
I'm going to go with Cruz. Had a good
Yeah, Dill.
I mean, I'm just going to say Reynolds. Reynolds provided the most for the team this year.
I didn't see.
All right, CJ, what you got for?
I'm taking Reynolds without a doubt.
That contract is great.
It is.
I love it. I love it.
He's like Mr. Consistent. Just.
Yep.
Sorry, I just saw Oliver Perez on this next thing, and
Oliver Perez is good.
I think this one might just not even need a round table.
Yeah, I mean, this one's pretty easy. We'll go with pitcher. On 3, 1, 2, 3.
Mitch Keller, baby. I'm not allowed to swear
Obviously,
anymore.
Skeens. That one's pretty
all right,
easy.
so
Frick Mitch Keller.
I feel we all agreed Skeens. However, if you want to talk, if it's not Skeens, who would you like? Excluding Skeens, who do you think would be pitcher of the year?
Luis Ortiz.
Luis Ortiz.
Oh, Ortiz.
I was gonna say Chapman.
Yeah, if you take out like
The
three
first
months
beginning of the season.
literally.
I say Ortiz just because he turned it around from starting as basically a long reliever
Into a starter.
into the starter that we was hoping that he was going to be.
that we desperately needed.
Yes,
literally.
and you could put him at the 4 or the 5, whatever you want to call it, between him and Falter. It's a coin flip. Ortiz was dominant towards the end of the.
I
end of
do
the
think
season. Second half of the season, Ortiz was dominant.
I think Ortiz was fantastic. I just think Chapman, at his age, to still be throwing 104.
105 he hit.
Right.
Against Machado.
You remember when we were at Cleveland? He was blowing those ball by. It was like 103. We were like, yeah, no.
Corey can hit that.
15 times.
All
Right.
that's our
Well, you
last
brought
one.
up a good point there. So this one's kind of a more open question. Who was the most improved this year?
I'll start Falter. He started the year, everyone booed the shit out of him.
Yeah, we were not on the.
At,
He-
at opening day,
Opening
everyone
day,
booed him.
he
After
booed
his-
him.
After a start in Miami. Everyone opening day booed him.
The opening day, they said whatever his number is, Bailey Falter, and it was boos the whole time.
Oh, that's because he had a bad start in Miami.
Yeah, but to be booed and then to come back
It was
and
the
do
haircut.
what he did.
It was the haircut.
Yeah, he chopped off all his hair, and they were like, oh, okay, he lost weight now.
I'm sticking with Luis Ortiz for most improved.
Corey.
Luis Ortiz is a...
Jared Triolo.
He did turn it. Honestly,
Towards
he
the
did.
end of the season.
He
yeah.
was batting just a smidge under 200, and I want to say he finished the year right around 220.
Yep.
He definitely took over that
third.
third base role. And then obviously once they got rid of Rowdy, he transitioned more into first towards that last 2 series there. But I do like that one.
Thanks.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Ortiz. I'm sticking with Ortiz for most improved.
I'm gonna go with a little bit of a wild card here, and I'm actually gonna say Nick Gonzalez because
That's a good one too.
That's a good one.
he, at least when he was in the minors, kind of was turning into like what you thought could have been a bust, where he was hitting like 400 in college. You had high hopes for him, and you never knew if him or Peguero was gonna be the one to turn it out. But he came in and kind of solidified a second base for years to
For
come.
sure.
So
He's a good bat though too. I like
He's such a nice dude. When
Yeah.
Dylan and I met him, he
Sick
was
stash.
sick.
real good
Sick
stash.
stash. Yeah.
CJ, who do you got for most improved Bucko of the season?
My answer is actually going to be Triolo as well. I don't know. Towards the end of the season, probably like the last month or two, I just really enjoyed watching him play finally and being a little bit more consistent. And I wanted to mess around and say Nick Gonzalez, but he was the one that just let go of the bat in the batter circle, right?
Yeah, then he had a home run next pitch though.
And then he had,
Practice
and then he had a
swings.
home run. And I was watching that, and I'm like, oh. And then he goes up and hits a home run. I'm like, oh, okay. he made up for it. So
Okay.
no, I like both those guys, but I would have to say Triolo. I like how Triolo ended out the season. So
My honorary mention, Kyle Nichols.
Yeah, he's another one.
All right.
The dude during Paul Skeens' debut could not throw a strike for the life of him.
He's another one that got booed out of the building.
And then he started hanging out with Jared Jones and Paul Skeens and their
Look what
their
happened.
girlfriends on a boat. And then the dude was dominant ever since.
Yeah, whatever's on that boat.
There's some magic energy on that boat. That day.
Russian gas.
Sorry to Dave, but I think he's the closer of the future.
Kyle Nichols.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I would agree. He's got some dominant stuff. He's young. He throws hard.
He's another one. When we were in Cleveland, we were I think I don't know where you.
Bro, I can't remember last week, let alone
We were
Cleveland.
so when we were standing along like the
The bullpen.
mesh.
Oh, you
Wasn't a
guys
fa-
were along the mesh. I was waiting for him.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
were standing there, and I was like, "Who in the hell is that?"
It's a big. He's a big
He
boy.
is big. Like
Fun fact for you, CJ. I'm sure you've heard of Pittsburgh Clothing Company before. I was wearing a shirt they have that says "Arrive, Shove, and Leave," and their bullpen catcher Jordan. He walks over to me. I bought merch off of him recently. He walks over to me. He's like, "Hey, where'd you get that shirt from?" He goes, "Kyle wants to know." I was like, "Oh, it's Pittsburgh Clothing Company." I was like, "Oh, by the way, they're 20% off right now." Like that matters to an MLB player that it's 20% off.
Get your deals while you can.
wait,
That's sick.
he said that right, and he walks away. I said, "I don't think he needs that idiot."
Yeah.
But
you
it's
think these
just
guys
like
look forward to Black
you know,
Friday shopping?
it's second nature because like when you're talking to the boys, it's like, dude, just go get one. It's like 20 or 30%
Yeah.
off. Like
Right.
you know, it's
I was
But,
laughing
like-
so hard.
at that point your brain just shuts off and it just goes immediately to like discounts.
But apparently,
Like
I talked to
mean-
the guy who runs Pittsburgh Clothing Company. Apparently, Jared Jones owns one of them T-shirts.
That's
The Arrive,
sick.
Shove, and Leave
I would
shirts.
hope so.
I'm pretty sure he's worn it in a picture before.
The guy for Pittsburgh Clothing says he's never seen it in a picture before,
Mhm.
but that's still cool. What do you got around the league?
That's cool.
Anything around the buzz around the
Anything
league?
important happen?
Well, going back to what Corey covered last episode.
Shohei
Shohei
Ohtani and
did.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You didn't watch it, did you?
No.
Yeah. To start off, we had just gone off football. To be fair, and I said Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Rodgers instead of Aaron Judge. Like that was on me, and we had to do
Aaron
a double take.
Rodgers going for the 62 home runs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Shohei did get his 50-50 season. I mean, it is really cool, despite the media just absolutely shoving it down your throat without remorse. It is really cool.
It was really cool how he did it, especially when they beat the Marlins like 19 to.
Yeah, when he hit
Did
that
you know
home
he's
run off
the
of second
he's the
baseman.
he's the first player to have that stat line?
What 6 for 6, 2 home
Yeah.
runs.
Oh,
Like
they had 3 home
I was
runs.
going to say 50.
It was 3 home runs. He had like 10 RBIs.
yeah, 6
They
for 6.
so
not bad.
I was listening to I can't remember who was talking, but they basically were comparing Ohtani to Babe Ruth and talking about who's better, Babe Ruth or Ohtani for their time frame. And I
Can
think
you really
it's
answer that right now?
I think it's really hard to not pick Ohtani with what he's doing. He's
I mean, he broke Ichiro's record for Japanese-born players stolen bases.
like he's doing
That's pretty cool.
as much as Skeens is doing in breaking records and flipping to basketball, since we don't really cover that, as much as Caitlin Clark did for her Rookie of the Year campaign too. To break records that have been standing for decades, and with ease, he's smashing them.
Centuries, pal.
Right, with ease. It's like he's like, man, fuck it, it don't matter.
I think he's the first. He's the player who's been in the top 2 in home runs and steals. He's one of 3 players to do that. Can you name the other 2?
Lead the league in home runs and steals.
To be in the top 2 in home runs and steals.
I know one of them.
I'm gonna say Mike Trout.
No.
Isn't Acuna one of them?
No. Hasn't happened since the 30s.
Well,
been
Oh, okay.
Ty,
Yeah, let me just think
Ty
about
Cobb and Honus Wagner. I think Ty Cobb had it. He was first with home runs with like 12.
Yeah, and Honus Wagner's are probably all inside the park.
Yeah. So that also is cool. You know, like you said, centuries. It's been over a century
Yeah.
since someone like that has had that record. And
You're never. I mean, we're gonna sit here, right, and it's kind of a recency bias where you're like, "What have you done recently?" But like the stuff that he's doing, it's almost as if like I don't know in our lifetime if we're gonna see another player like him.
No.
I just don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, you might never see another player like that.
You might not, but I'm
Especially
not
from
going to
the
be here
pitching
forever to
side.
find out. So I just think in my lifetime at least, or which should be ours, I just don't think there's another player like him. The stuff that he's doing, the crowds that he brings, the people that
It's worldwide.
Yeah.
It's not even just like United States based. It's worldwide. Like
Yeah.
he is the best Japanese born player since Ichiro.
yes, and Ichiro I love Ichiro.
Not counting your boy. Who was that? Morikano from
Murakami,
Murakami
Oh,
from
yeah.
MLB The Show.
who might come to the league next year.
You know who was
We'll
real?
see.
Speaking of, I think Asian born players, Dice K for the Red Sox would like
He was sick.
he was disgusting. He used to throw this I don't even know what it was called. I used to play it whenever I used to play it on MLB or like the bigs or whatever. I used to strike tie out every time with it. He'd be like, "This isn't fair," and I'm like, "You're winning 18-1. Shut up."
All right, moving on from Otani here because we can
Yeah,
play him all day
and
if we
then
wanted to.
Quietly, even though it didn't get to happen because apparently the game got canceled. Jose Ramirez needed 1 home run for a 40-40 season, which is also really cool because I just love Jose Ramirez because he just looks like a fat dude and just gets 40 steals a season. Like
He's real good.
Yeah.
it's just crazy. He was insane this year. I had him in fantasy. Shout out him.
I had Shohei in fantasy. Shout out him.
Yeah, you took him first overall.
I won fantasy. Shout
But
out me.
it kind of got overshadowed by Otani's 50-50 season, but also pretty cool that J-Ram, even though he didn't get to play today, never got a chance for that final home run. 39-40 season. Close enough.
Yeah, I guess so. Consolation prize.
And a fun tidbit here that I found, Nick Castellanos, a.k.a. the Grim Reaper, never gets to take a day off in all 162 games and was the only player to do that this year.
Was there anybody last year that did that?
I'm not sure. It definitely doesn't happen the way it used to. A
No.
lot of off days.
Yeah.
Yeah, off days.
There was a couple that
injuries.
were like at 161 this
Yeah.
year.
I mean,
think,
Reynolds
but-
was good for the first 3 months of the year, and then he got hurt. He played every day between left field and DH.
He only missed 6 games. I think he finished with like 157, so it was close.
Yeah.
He played a lot.
That's a long season.
Baseball was a long season, and I feel like baseball, you're real into it, April to May. Everyone's real into baseball. Maybe even a little bit of June. Maybe post All-Star break for a week or two till the end of July, and then August hits, and people just fall off the ship. I know for fantasy purposes, it's a long season just having a fantasy baseball team, let alone playing 162 games plus playoffs.
Well, yeah, that dude from I think one of the Twins minor league organizations that
He
straight
got-
up was like, I don't want to play in the playoffs, so
Yeah.
intentionally played bad, and then they
Yeah.
just cut him.
And then they cut him. Idiot. Literal idiot.
I think we got some big news to end here.
2 big newses.
I mean, hey, if you want to cover this, you're the one that brought it up.
Hey, Oakland A's, I feel bad for them, honestly.
I do too.
It was real sick what
Yep.
happened at the end of the year. They put 46-889 for their final game at the Coliseum. People, the game before that, were taking seats.
Yeah.
If I had that seat for the final game, I'm
I'd be
pissed.
pissed.
Because where the hell what am I doing? I'm standing.
Sit on the rust.
Yeah, you know who else is
Yep.
pissed? The people right behind them.
Yeah, who were standing the whole game. I just want to give a quick shout out. He's not going to see this, obviously. There was either a grounds crew keeper, ball boy, whoever it was in the organization was actually scooping dirt off the Coliseum
Yeah,
and
I
water
saw that.
bottles
I did see
and
that.
getting them to fans.
Mhm.
To me, that's super cool because, like, when Three River Stadium was demolished, our parents, maybe grandparents, went down to the stadium, got some sort of maybe a brick.
You did?
We have a piece at the stadium.
I would say a brick, a seat, something along those lines. And nowadays, I don't feel like that happens anymore.
No, it's because Fanatics gets it, and then they put it in a fucking plaque, and then you
then
have
it
to
goes
pay.
for
You have to pay
$100,000.
$700
Yeah.
to get a piece of a grain of dirt.
So the fans stayed late after that game. All of Oakland, their whole organization, management team were all on the field, and everyone was chanting "Let's go Oakland." That was super sick.
Did you see that they had, first off, and you guys know this from last year, Ricky Henderson was there. I love Ricky Henderson. But they didn't have, like, Canseco there. I feel like I understand he's very controversial. He's a very polarizing figure. I feel like what he meant to the A's in the 90s, he should have been there. Because you had Henderson there, and you had a few other alumni there, and he wasn't there. I don't know if I really agree with that, but that's just my personal opinion.
I mean, the whole situation is just gross. The fact that they're moving to Sacramento to play in a minor league stadium when there's not even a guarantee that they're going to get into Vegas, which they're going to lose their entire fan base just so they can make more money.
It's sad. And moving off of that, if Oakland didn't do, if what happened to Oakland didn't happen, right? The White Sox organization would go down in the history of 2024 season as one of the, just in the history of MLB, the single worst season. Not just loss because they broke the loss record, but like I'm saying in terms of Oakland and how special that was to the fan base. The White Sox broke the loss record, which, in my opinion, will never happen again.
What is the number?
120.
121.
It was 120.
Yeah.
Now it's 121.
Yeah.
And they actually, I don't know if Grady Sizemore's going to come back as their coach. He got some balls. He put out Garrett Crochet. He skipped a start to put out Garrett Crochet to play the game-clinching game against the Tigers. When you just broke the all-time loss record and you're putting your ace out there to try to stop your division rival from clinching a playoff
I
spot.
respect
I'm down for that.
I honestly,
that's hater activities. I
Yes.
respect that.
He said, "Watch this."
That's the type of coach that I would want to play for. Someone who doesn't care about the way that your season ended because he came in with maybe like 30, 40 games left, if that. But
Make him earn it.
I don't know if it was their GM or their owner, Reisendorf. I'm not sure if he's their GM owner. He came out with a post today, said, "Thank you for your continued support for the team. Even though it was an embarrassing season, you all deserve better." So that was cool.
So when's Bob coming out with that?
Never.
Never.
No. He's saving money by
He probably
not
doesn't
giving
even know
incentives.
what our
Yeah,
record
he's
is.
got $500,000 extra in his pocket.
Yeah, remember that for next season.
Yeah.
But the whole thing that's so funny about the White Sox is that, like, they were supposed to compete this year.
Yeah. A lot of people had them competing. That's crazy.
All right, yeah, so we'll
I
go
dropped
series
one. I
by
was like,
series
drop a
here,
couple.
picking our winners for each series. We'll go all the way through just for the hell of it. Get our winner now.
Hell yeah.
So we'll start off with KC and Houston.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah, anybody but Houston.
I'll agree with that. Not that it matters. We got majority already, so you don't even have to speak.
I guess CJ doesn't get to either.
I would never.
No. Okay, literally anybody but Houston.
Yeah. We don't pick cheaters around here.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll go next here, Detroit and Baltimore.
I love this. Yeah,
I'll be watching every game.
I'm going Baltimore.
I think
though.
Baltimore. In
I
like
do
six.
too.
I just like the Orioles, so I'll
I'll
take
also go
Baltimore.
Big Orioles fan.
Their
over there.
their depth
Baltimore.
is just better.
Moving on to the NL wild card here, we got the Mets and the Brewers.
I want the Mets.
I want the Mets.
I don't want the Brewers to win, but I think it's going to be the Mets.
I want the Mets to lose just so I can see Frank the Tank post angry
Oh.
videos on Twitter.
I'm gonna go with the Brewers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Brewers.
So we split threes.
Would you
Anybody
say
but
Mets?
Houston?
I said the Mets.
What'd you say?
but
I
also
said Brewers.
anybody
So we're
in the
split
NL
threes.
Central.
All right, Bo, put everyone's face on that one.
Flip a coin.
Next.
We're not doing that.
Anyways. Well, we have to do it, Dylan. We're going all the way through.
All right, move to the next one.
I guess we'll just come come back to that.
On to the next.
We got Atlanta and San Diego.
Give me Atlanta.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
Also got the Braves.
Shout out to Arise, great season.
So
again.
I just have like a random question here. You do realize that there's Arizona still fighting for the last wild card spot?
Big doubleheader tomorrow.
Yeah,
Are they? I thought it was all settled already.
So
No.
Atlanta, the Mets, and Arizona are all tied right now.
but Atlanta's in there.
Atlanta is in there, yeah, and they play the Phillies in a doubleheader tomorrow. So they win one, they're in. So
Which I think they do.
I was going
They
to
do.
I didn't notice that.
they do. So Atlanta,
Well, we're
I'm
going
picking-
with Atlanta then.
Atlanta.
I'm picking Atlanta. Atlanta postseason, tough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we'll move back on over here to Kansas City and Cleveland. Are you keeping track of this?
Cleveland.
Yeah. Go Tribe.
What am I keeping track of?
Yeah,
In case you wanted to post it.
It's gonna be Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Give me the land.
Give me the land.
All right, well, Cleveland it is. And then we said the Baltimore Orioles and the Yankees.
F the Yankees. Give me the
Yeah,
Orioles.
the
Yeah,
Yankees.
Same thing.
That
Anybody
series,
but the
if
Yankees.
that series lines up, it's
That's
gonna be
gonna
a
be
good
ugly.
series.
Yeah, I'm watching that too.
Yeah, it's gonna get
Every
ugly.
game Baltimore's in, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Too bad Grayson Rodriguez isn't pitching. Pretty
Yeah.
sure he's out the postseason.
Big PC guy over here.
Well, we're going to have to consult Siri here for the Mets and Brewers here. So we'll go Mets.
Doesn't matter.
Heads.
Phillies are winning.
Yeah,
Yeah, Phillies are
I was
just
gonna-
taking that.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, Phillies are winning.
Phillies are just a.
Yeah, Phillies, yeah.
All right, well, now we got the Dodgers and
Yeah, it's
maybe
gonna
the Braves.
That's gonna be the Dodgers. As much
Dude,
as
the Dodgers are some chokers, though.
they
do.
are, but the fact that they have all those dudes on that team and the only person that anybody cares about is Shohei is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because if any of those other, if Mookie Betts is on any other team,
Mm-hmm.
he's the star of that team.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dodgers are gonna win that, and then they're gonna beat the piss out of the Phillies.
All right, well, now we got Cleveland and the Orioles. Interesting series,
Baltimore.
potentially.
Yeah, I'm still taking.
Baltimore.
I'm still
Yeah, I'm
taking
going
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
I'm riding the Baltimore bus
All the way.
all the way.
Corey's not.
I said Baltimore, so thanks.
Man, pay attention.
All right, and then we got the Phillies and the Dodgers.
Phillies.
I'm going with the
Honestly,
Phillies.
yeah, I'm going Phillies.
Phillies.
Anybody but the Dodgers.
I'm saying Dodgers, but we're outnumbered.
Get wrecked, idiot.
That's fine.
I personally
Last
believe,
time I checked, I'm atop of the Pick'em football standings.
Oh.
So
well, this is
World
pick'em
Series
baseball.
World Series matchup.
Baltimore and the Phillies.
Phils.
I'm
I think
saying
this
Phils.
is Phillies to lose.
I'm going the
honestly,
Phillies just
I
because of
agree.
the sole reason that Baltimore has no experience.
I would agree.
I
That's a
also
good.
think the Phillies have more pitching depth. For
I would
starting,
agree
and that's
with
gonna
that
come-
too.
Same.
Also,
Same, I'm taking
love me
Philly.
some Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Most
Phillies are your 2024 World Series champions.
Heard
I
it
hate to say
first.
that,
according to
Unless
us.
they
Yeah.
Diamondbacks some up and throw a wrench in things, but
We'll have to. We'll have
Corbin
to
Carroll coming back.
So stay tuned for our next podcast. I'm sure we'll be partially way through the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
maybe through the divisional series. I
We'll
would
be able
imagine.
to we'll be able to square up.
And we'll see if our predictions are right within the first round and a half, maybe 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So let's wrap it up here with the greener grass. Some might call it turf.
It's all turf.
You got nothing? Okay, moving on here.
Hit the skip button.
All right, so what
Yeah.
you got for
All
us?
right, Speed Racer.
Before we get to the grass, I do want to give a shout out to Pitt, both the volleyball team and the men's soccer team,
Yes.
who are both number 1 in the country. for
Shout out to
sure.
that. That's
They haven't
actually
lost a set in how many?
34.
34 or 33 as of
That's
today.
crazy.
haven't they like
That's
lost
awesome.
like 4 sets all year or something?
Dude,
No.
I'm not a volleyball
Pitt?
fan.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
No, Pitt hasn't.
I
sorry.
love Pitt, like athletics as a whole. I didn't go to Pitt, but yeah, my fiance did. I work for UPMC, which has nothing to do with my love for Pitt. But going to that Pitt Penn State game when they swept them when it was 1 versus 3, I would have loved to have been there. I mean, I worked, but it was sold out. They obviously clean swept Penn State. Joe Pa knew, hail to Pitt.
Absolutely.
What were you saying though?
Dylan works for Pitt.
Okay, well, didn't know we were giving out where we work now. But Jesus.
I mean,
I
if
know
we're,
they at
if
least
we're
lost 2 sets against. I think it was
Texas
Michigan.
employees.
I was just gonna go there, man.
Yeah, so it takes you right. I was just looking it up right now.
Yeah, I know. I was right.
2 sets, and that was the first match against Michigan.
That's crazy.
And so that puts them at, 12-36, so they've won 34 straight sets.
That's crazy.
That's pretty good.
That's you know how hard that is in volleyball.
Hell yeah.
That's You got a 100-mile-an-hour
I
serves coming
can't
at your
remember
face.
the
You gotta.
last game they
Mhm.
played, though.
No.
Anything else exciting happen in the pit world?
I think there was the score of the pit game. I think it was 73-17 against Youngstown.
Hell
State.
yeah.
I'm not. Listen.
Getting close.
Run
Here-
it up.
Listen, no, hear me out, okay? I understand it's Youngstown State. We put up 73
Yeah,
points.
my Duquesne Dukes beat the brakes off them.
But at the in the same breath, Pitt always finds a way to play down their competition,
Yeah.
just like every single Pittsburgh sports team does. To put up 73 points is a statement win. It's like, hey, we're it. Like Pitt is it this year. I mean, we have a 10% chance to make the college football playoff right now.
10.1. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Hell yeah, man.
Holstein's playing unreal. 5 total touchdowns against Youngstown
Yeah, kid's
State.
real good.
He's got a little under 1,200 yards for the year, which was the same pace that Kenny Pickett was on when he won.
As a senior, and this dude's a redshirt freshman.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, Pitt this week, the rankings just came out today. Pitt got 51 votes for top 25, which is the second most behind, I believe, at Boise State.
Wait, so they got more votes in a bye week?
Yep.
Oh, I was going to say, because I know last week they were ranked like 30th overall, so they moved up a little bit
Yeah,
more.
based off of the people above them losing, like Utah, I believe, lost at, was it Utah?
I think
I couldn't tell you.
Utah was
Utah lost
losing.
at home to Arizona. They were upset.
Illinois lost.
Illinois lost, so I don't remember
Kentucky
if they.
just beat Ole Miss. That's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we move on to the professional athletes here,
Yeah.
Kentucky's defense is might be good. Like I don't follow Kentucky football,
I don't
but-
think any of us really do.
Yeah.
to be honest,
but I
I'm
mean
just gonna
Big
believe you.
Kentucky football guy over here.
I mean, do you guys think that they're good? Their defense is good?
I haven't watched
I
them.
mean,
I have no
they
idea.
only gave up how many points to Georgia? Like
Yeah.
14?
Kentucky's always solid, and maybe it could have been a fluke against Ole Miss, but they're always at least solid.
I mean,
So, not Kentucky based. I do want to mention one college football game. The Alabama and Georgia game
Nuts.
was crazy.
Hell yeah.
Bama gave up a 25-point lead or 28 point. They were up 28 points.
Yeah.
And then they were down. I think it was 30. Was it 34-33? They were down when Bama came down and scored that touchdown.
Yeah.
That atmosphere there was sick. You want to talk about a sick atmosphere? I know. I'm pretty sure CJ's a Penn State guy.
All right, CJ. Thanks for coming
I
on the
don't-
pod, bud.
I don't want to say anything.
that's
But-
all we need to know.
But like a whiteout night game at Penn State
Against Ohio State would be sick.
against anybody.
Yeah,
I don't
you
care
know,
who it is.
you know where you'd be able to find me in red. You'd be like, oh, there's
Like,
the
there he
Jays.
is. that
That's
that
why
that
Zach
atmosphere.
ratted me out, man.
Quick question then, CJ. Have you ever been to a whiteout game?
So I was supposed to go this year. My brother and his wife, they met at Penn State, and her family has season tickets going back to like their grandparents or something, and they go to every single home game, whiteout game, big noon games, doesn't matter. They tailgate for it. They do the whole 9 yards. I was supposed to go this year because I think they're playing Northwestern for the whiteout game this year, and I was supposed to go, but something came up that same weekend with work, and I can't miss that. And I was so mad because that's all I want to do is experience that,
That's fair.
whiteout.
I want to experience that sometime in my lifetime.
Well,
All right, well,
the
we'll go
other
when they play
cool-
Ohio State.
Well, the other cool thing
Yeah, but
is
you have to
last
take it.
year in January we went to a Penn State hockey game, and that's when they were ranked like third. They were ranked third or fourth in the nation, and they were playing Ohio State, and it was a whiteout game, and it was the biggest attendance in Penn State hockey history, and there was, I forget how many people were there. I have a video I can send you, Zach, because I took like a panorama at the end of the game. It was nuts, and it was super loud, and I kind of looked at my brother. I'm like, I can't imagine what a football game is like, 'cause
No.
that's the loudest I've ever heard a hockey rink. Like, it was like probably a little less loud than a Penn's playoff game, and it was nuts.
That's kinda
And,
crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I can't imagine what the football games are like. But yeah, I was supposed to go this year to Northwestern or whoever they're playing, so didn't get to make that one.
That stadium holds 100 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100 plus.
Yeah.
Just seats.
Yes.
Yes.
Plus everyone who just goes
Yeah.
and stands and
Yeah.
damn.
My dream scenario is if Pitt is not good enough this year to make the college football playoffs, those people that assign those bowl games better find some way to put Pitt and Penn State in a bowl game, because that would be insane.
Yep.
But it's at Penn State though.
That's okay.
and we're
They
going.
don't host any bowl
But
games.
I'm wearing white.
Yeah, we're not going in pick here. We can't.
We'll wear a white pitch shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go and pick. I had buddies that would like openly demoralize and throw shit at Pitt people when they would go to
Yeah, I can't handle that at this age.
No.
Yeah, they said Pitt kids would try to go to that Champs bar afterwards, and they just like would demoralize these kids right in the middle of the bar. So
maybe I'm not wearing
I
red.
want to wear white.
Yeah,
Moving on to the professional athletes here.
I think the Steelers are okay.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1. That's not bad.
Hey, if you
3
told
and
me
1?
they were going to be 3-1 to start the year,
Well,
I
we
would say
did.
you're insane.
Our guess was 2-2. We had them
because you
losing
guys
to
said
the
that they were going
Chargers.
to lose to the Chargers.
Well, yeah, I didn't anticipate
Oh.
Justin Herbert's ankle being left on a
Yeah,
field.
18 pieces.
Chargers, Roman Wilson was inactive, which was weird to see considering our wide receiver room, but here nor there. Joey Bosa, right? Is it Joey or Nick? I always get
Joey.
Nick
Joey
is
plays
Nick's on
Chargers.
Nick's on-
49ers.
Yeah. He got injured real quick, but our O-line couldn't get any push. Like, we just couldn't get anything going. Pass coverage was soft. Like, we let up Herbert in his bum ankle, like, a lot of yardage. But on the flip side, Fields was using the middle of the field, which I'm finally glad he's starting
About
to use it a little
time.
bit.
Not he. Us. Us as a team are using the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah. But
I still love him.
He's got to throw the ball there. You can run the routes, but he's got to throw the ball. And then in the second half of the Chargers game, the defense and the offense showed up. Defense held the Chargers negative 5 yards.
Hell
Which
yeah.
is
Is that good?
impressive. I think so.
Hmm.
Now, granted, like Justin Herbert was injured. I don't even know who the backup was. It
Heineke.
Yeah, Taylor
Yeah.
Heineke.
They
Yeah.
traded for him like right before
They
the start of
also
the
have
season.
somebody else who's
Easton
Stick.
Easton Stick. That's
Yeah.
right.
What a
Shout
great
out.
name.
Yeah.
He should have been a hockey player.
Yeah.
His parents they raised him in the
They
wrong
dropped the
sport.
Yeah.
They could have played
I
baseball.
was just going to say,
too.
the Easton baseball bat.
He could have had a synergy and
Yeah,
That's
that would have been good. And then we transitioned to the Colts game today, which I didn't get to watch nor listen
Yeah, well,
to.
I
But
wish I
So,
didn't watch it. So.
the first half, like if you take the first half team that we were and the second half team we were, two totally different teams.
oh yeah, we were down 17-0,
That-
17-3.
17-3.
We looked.
that was one of the worst halves of football I've ever
We
watched,
actually
that
looked
first
like
half.
what we looked like last year.
Yeah.
Like it was just
it
bad.
that bad?
People were calling for Russ. Like
Yeah.
I saw Twitter was like on fire whenever I looked at it like hours after. I was like, but like looking at the game, like Fields had 312 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and led the team in rushing.
I mean, he played real well the second. He had a fumble early in the second half, maybe.
Yeah,
To
I don't know
start
what
the-
he was
hit him
doing.
in
He
the
started-
face.
He
Yeah.
started running 30 yards backwards, and then
Yeah.
like, here, let me just drop the ball.
I don't
for you."
understand how he wasn't down though, because it looked like he had possession, like he regained possession of it,
Because
and while he did that, his elbow was down and he was
they
touched.
claimed he was never touched, I think. And then even though his elbow was down since he wasn't touched, like he put himself there, so he technically could have gone back
And like,
up.
Makes
not
sense.
that it's like a huge excuse or anything like that, but they called some real ticky tacky calls.
Yeah.
it was
Well,
terrible.
that
Minka,
referee corps.
JPJ for that
Yeah,
pass.
that referee.
Oh, that
corps
pass
calls the
interference was
second. They have
terrible.
the second most penalties called within
Yeah.
the first 3 weeks of the
Yeah,
season.
they were brutal. It was
Yeah.
to the point that James Harrison was tweeting out. He's like, "I can't get fined, so I don't care," and he's just like putting all this stuff out.
I mean, when they scored that touchdown, when Watt was obvious, like the dude literally had him in a bear hug. He had him
Yeah.
around the waist.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they don't call that
That Minka thing.
that Minka hit, I think we probably could win that game, and then the
Because that was the same drive that Watt got held on.
to get to the fumbles.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons we lost based on the stat sheet was we had 2 turnovers and we didn't have any turnovers on the defensive end.
I don't understand Pickens in the. Every time Pickens gets the ball, he always stretches out for an extra yard.
Yeah,
He did that in the red zone when he stretched out for that extra yard when he already had the first down.
It's just
That's not why he fumbled.
just
though. He
awareness.
just
I know,
straight up
but-
threw the ball.
But
up.
I'm saying, just like if you have the
careless.
first, just take the ball, go out of bounds, take the ball, go down, get hit, whatever. But like, just I don't understand that.
it's careless.
And then we'll move on to. I mean, we could spend days and hours on these games, but going into the next 2 weeks, we got the Cowgirls coming. Actually, we're at Jerry's World, right? No,
No,
No, they're here.
It's
We're
at
home.
home Sunday
Um,
night.
They're
yeah,
here. I'm staying far away from
their
downtown.
Their next 3 home games are all prime time.
That's right. We don't
Yeah,
have
they
we
don't
don't have
have
a 1:00 game till
2
after
Sundays
our
and a
bye.
Monday.
Yeah.
Week 10.
Week 10.
So my keys to the game, as Zach likes to go on hockey, but I'm going to say contain the Dak and CD combo. because they could easily put up. Dak could put up 300 and
So
CD
honestly, your
150.
only threat with them, I feel. Parsons is hurt now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Parsons is hurt, so that's
defense
going
is
to
in
help us.
shambles.
Lawrence.
They
Lawrence
really
is
don't have
hurt.
a run game, right? Which is a really prime time for us to get Najee going. Like he hasn't. Like Fields led us in rushing 55 yards.
They need to
See
get
what he
some-
did there?
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
They need to get some turnovers in that game.
And I think they will. Like I don't know. I feel like if we put Dak under pressure, he's gonna make some mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Raiders aren't really super scary. Did they? I don't know if they beat the Browns or
They
not
did.
today.
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're still not scary. It doesn't
And they
matter.
beat
'cause-
the Ravens.
Yeah,
They
did.
also beat the Ravens.
But they also lost to Carolina, so.
Yeah, they got smoked. But,
They're AFC North killers.
Actually, they lost to Andy Dalton, not to the
Yeah,
Panthers.
but Carolina still blows.
Gardner Minshew isn't super scary. Devontae Adams might be a Steeler, hopefully.
He's
soon.
hurt.
He's
He's out
hurt.
week to week.
He's also out.
Until he gets traded.
Yeah.
And he's all of a sudden fine.
They said he's gonna turn out like Kevin Nash when he takes.
I was just going to say that too.
So my key is Zamir White. He's a smaller, quick guy. I say if we contain him, we win the game.
Yeah, well, everyone else seems to have a real easy job containing him because he's on my fantasy team and he hasn't done shit.
Oh, so we'll,
But-
we'll be okay.
So we'll
then.
give up at least 100 to him.
Yeah.
They also have They also have Madison, who they just aren't using,
Well, Brock Bowers too.
and
Yeah.
Bowers.
Well, like Gardner Minshew isn't going to go out and throw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I mean,
Not against hopefully not against our defense.
Yeah,
You
I
say
would
that now.
I wouldn't
Right,
speak
you
too
remember when
soon.
Blake Bortles came out and did the same thing?
Yeah, yikes.
But we could spend hours, but that's all I got on the Steelers.
Minutes. I
For
like
now.
that.
Short and sweet.
Before we move on to our hot takes here, I just want to say I am transitioning from UFC talk
He said I'm stepping down.
take my talents.
from
my-
UFC talk into more of a host aspect of things here. But
There's
I do
more?
have there is more.
Oh,
All I want to talk about UFC related is Brian Battle. If you guys don't know Brian Battle,
So funny.
please, I don't CJ how much a UFC guy you are. When you
I'm not sorry.
when neither are they, so it's fine. You fit right in. When you have a second, please look up Brian Battle. That dude was on the Ultimate Fighter 1. He is, I believe, 5-0 in the UFC with a no contest, and the no contest was an eye poke. And his opponent was like, I don't really want to fight you anymore. I'm getting the shit kicked out of me. He walked out to the blank in Paris when the fight was in Paris.
Oh, I saw this yesterday. Yeah.
He then KO'd the French fighter and then gave the double birds to the crowd.
I'm going to say
That's
against the
awesome.
French, okay?
Brian Battle
hate
is
French
a
people.
beast. He will be a UFC champion at some point in his career. That's all I gotta say about UFC.
Keep an
But
eye
isn't he banned from France? now?
That was fake.
Oh,
That was fake.
You
Yeah,
got debated.
you
You
fell for
got
that.
debated.
That was spinning back piss that tweeted that.
Oh,
Yeah, and in their bio it says not affiliated with the spinning
Spinning
back
I was gonna say,
fist.
that's so funny if he got banned from
Yeah,
France.
no, that was you got debated there, bud. Get
That's
fucked.
okay.
I mean,
Honorable-
I didn't look at the account. I just saw the tweet.
Happens to the best of us.
honorable
Hey,
mention.
Sam fell forward too, so it's fine.
Honorable mention before we move on here. But that knee that you sent on.
Oh,
Twitter,
that was
holy!
gross.
I
And then the two
gasped.
hammer fists after that, dude. That was disgusting.
Yeah, I mean
Who
the
had
dude
their
was
face busted
sleeping, and then
open?
you throw 2 more onto his cheek. Oh, it's brutal.
Before we go on to our hot takes here, Alex Pereira will still be a UFC champion, even though I said Khalil Roundtree is a badass MFer.
Mofo.
Alex Pereira is that dude. He will still be UFC champion for, probably months to come.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's about all we got today. We're gonna end with our hot takes here. CJ, like I said, something that you think will happen in maybe the next 2 weeks in the sports world. It could be Pittsburgh related. It could be any sport, any fashion. What are you thinking here as a hot take?
We'll keep it simple with the Steelers. I think next 2 to 3 weeks, over 3.5 sacks for TJ Watt
Damn.
in the next 2 to 3 in this next grouping of games, because it's Sunday Night Football, 4:30 game, then another prime time. Who's the third one against? The Jets?
Yeah, we play the Jets Sunday night after the Raiders game.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I like the over 3.5 sacks in the next 3 games. I think he's going to go off.
He is a half sack away from 100 for his career, which would put him at the second quickest behind Reggie White.
Perfect.
That guy was
All right.
good.
Also,
Hall of Famer.
I was listening earlier and this is like way down the road, and this it's way out of range, but I honestly feel like Devontae Adams will be on another team by week 10 or week 11.
It's either going to be the Steelers or the Jets.
This guy gets 18 weeks to get a hot take right. This is This is bullshit.
He ain't gonna be back by then.
No, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna
You're
predict
here
WrestleMania is
every
gonna be in Vegas.
We don't ever have to talk about it again, but I'm just saying. I bet Devontae Adams is on another
Lamar
team
Jackson's
by
gonna be a
week
Jet.
10. Yeah. So I'm gonna stick to those two. I'll keep it simple.
All right, Zach, what you got?
I say that Gino gets over 1,300 points. He has 5 games to do that. So I think he's 5 away. He's
4
4
games,
to
5
do-
points.
Yeah.
Let's hear Corey. Let's see if we can get win number 4.
So
You don't sound real confident.
I'm never confident in this. I'm not good at.
He's
these.
like, I'm not good at this.
But Dylan kind of covered it. We got to get Najee going right against the Cowboys. I'm saying Najee gets 2 touchdowns against the Cowgirls.
Okay, I'm here for it.
We'll have 35 rushing yards. And
Nope, he's gonna
Yeah.
get hurt, and Cordell Patterson's taking over.
I'm-
Too bad Cordell Patterson got hurt today too.
I'm
so.
saying this right now. Technicality, you sticking cowgirls?
2 touchdowns
Really in on the technicalities.
against the. You know what? I'll
The
change
Dallas
it for
football
you.
team.
Fats.
Yeah.
There.
All right, Tiggs, what you got here?
So I'm gonna say that Pitt's gonna drop over 50 points on UNC's
Nice.
dome.
Now, I don't want anyone to get confused here. I am wearing light blue, and the James is rocking the UNC hat here. Just first thing I grabbed when I
Okay, yeah,
came
no
home from the
points.
closet.
It's just that
He's
team
just
mojo.
like-
I
Hail to
intentionally
Pitt.
grabbed this.
That's okay.
Hail to Pitt.
I'm trying to see what the
Um,
spread is right now.
Dylan?
I'm going to say Fields over the next 2 weeks, which is the Cowboys and the Raiders, will have 450 plus passing yards and 4 plus total touchdowns.
I have
So
this 449.
Damn, Dill.
Man, they got the.
there's no Mickey Mouses here.
Yeah, we don't do Mickey Mouses on the.
Well, there
teams.
is one.
Speaking of Mickey Mouses, who's over there?
I don't really think this is a
I
Mickey
knew that
Mouse
was
because,
coming.
because Gino always gets off to a slow start. So Gino.
Last year he had a great start. That was the only time he.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 out of 16-year seasons. So Malkin is sitting at 498 career goals. I'm going to say Malkin gets goal number 500 in the first 4 games of the season.
You better add that. The first 4 games, add it.
I mean, that's
That's what
what
our
our
next
next
plot
podcast
is.
is.
I don't care. If we're gonna play technicality over here, that's what we're gonna play.
Okay, Corey, you got it.
Whatever makes you happy.
So we'll see how these play out. We're really banking on Najee 2 touchdowns here for Corey because I really want to see you get to 10 wins before you get to 40 losses.
Appreciate
That's
you.
not going to happen, but we can pray.
That's all we got today, boys. A little bit of a longer one. CJ, thank you for coming on. Thanks for spending the night with us.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll tuck you in since it's now.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I was hoping to go the entire podcast without getting grilled for being a Penn State fan.
We almost made it. We were almost
there.
I wasn't gonna say a word.
We were talking about Pitt, and you didn't say anything, and I'm like, I'm
Nah,
like
dude.
98% sure that CJ is a Penn State guy.
Kept that
You know-
real quiet there, bud.
Yeah, because I saw a stat today was the first 3 TD game since 2021 for a Steelers QB. And for a quarterback, and I'm just thinking, like, God, like I'm not gonna say shit about Kenny Pickett, man. Like, like I'm not gonna say anything because I saw that stat, and I'm just like, all right, that's neat. And then you guys started talking about Pitt. I'm like, yeah, I'm keeping my mouth shut.
And then I just had to say it. I'm like,
yeah, man, you said it, and I'm
I'm
like, well,
I'm
yo.
pretty sure I've seen CJ at a couple Penn State tailgates before. He's got to be a Penn
Yeah,
State
it's
fan.
CJ, you ever been to the creamery before?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's all right. We still love you, bud.
CJ, you ever been to the creamery before?
What's that?
You ever been to the creamery before?
Oh, many times.
What's your favorite flavor?
It's a little bit of a wild card flavor, the coffee flavored ice cream.
Big coffee guy, I can tell.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
drank coffee in high school, so.
Yeah,
right.
dude, I was the psycho drinking coffee as a junior in high school before 7 a.m. travel games. So like coffee flavored ice cream, one that and the grilled stickies.
Oh,
Oh, I love me some grilled
the
steak.
grilled-
hell yeah.
Grilled stickies ice cream, phenomenal.
My girlfriend used to work there. She graduated from there, but I just had to throw that out.
She graduated from the creamery.
You
Well,
guys
yeah,
probably
graduated
have
from the
so much
creamery.
ice
Yeah,
cream.
exactly.
That's what you said.
I said she worked there, and then she graduated
From
there.
there.
From Penn State. You guys are a bunch of dinks.
All right, Corey, you're cut off.
Doink the
Your mic's
clown
off.
over here.
CJ, once again, thanks for coming on. Thanks for spending the night with us, and I'm sure we'll see if your Devontae Adams hot take hits. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and your
we'll
other
look at
8 fucking hot takes within 10 weeks, bud. We'll let you know how that goes.
it. Yeah.
Don't
Appreciate
let
all that.
him get to you.
Yeah,
He's just
spoken
sensitive about
spoken
this
like
topic.
someone that is losing.
on that note, get yins or get out, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Pro me.
Boom! I'll grab it.
Aaron Rodgers, we're just talking about football.
Hot start.
Yep. We can cut that out and restart.
Speaking of looking better than ever, that hack goes home.
Kelly.
We're the ones. You're the twos.
Next,